Alright, no machines, welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to share with you some of the best marketing tips I could possibly give that I've learned over time from some of the top marketers out there and from my own experiences. And I'm going to give you some of the best tips I can give you here. So tip number one is innovation. Innovation is so key in marketing because those who innovate, they stand out and they win. And how do you innovate? I think one of the best ways to innovate, especially with what works now in today's world, is content. Paid ads work only so far. Paid ads are to leverage the content already proven to work for your brand or business, and then you turn them into ads and you boost them with paid ads to get in front of more of your target audience, okay? So that's super effective to realize because this is what works in today's world. So it comes down to content. And so how do you innovate content? And I would say you can look at competitors in your niche and see what they're doing, of course, and you kind of see how you can stand out and be different and innovate the whole niche. But then you can also look at outside niches and see other niches and see ways to take what's working for them and apply it to your niche and really innovate the whole market. Very serious marketing power and understanding that. Okay, so hopefully you take that to heart because that's super key. The next one is going to be very interesting. Okay, I'm going to do a face of a cow here. So you want to stand out. Now, when you stand out, what tends to happen when you stand out is you're standing out. So imagine you saw a purple cow or let's say a blue pig here or something that looks like a pig. Basically, that stands out compared to all the pink pigs in this case. And when you realize all you have to do is just find even the smallest details to make you stand out, okay? So if you're doing educational videos in the health niche, for example, what would make you stand out would be someone extremely fit, someone with multiple characters in your content too. It could be your friends or something, and they're extremely fit too, for example. And then let's say, look at big celebrities and how they dress, that stands out. So dress in a way that makes you stand out like a celebrity dresses or something, or a rapper or something. And then film in unique locations that stand out. And give advice that is from personal experience and your own unique antidotes and unique stories and experiences. That can be very effective to actually stand out in a niche and absolutely crush it and beat the competition. And then you want to model after your top competitors' content and see the elements that they did that you can model after and in some ways copy after and just make it even better. Because when you do that, you stand out and you grow. All right, guys, everyone's going to be curious about this one if they skipped ahead because this piece of art is very funny. So this represents be remarkable, stand out, be different. This is an interesting piece of art, I guess you could say. But when you're remarkable and your content's remarkable or your marketing strategy is remarkable, that's how you stand out and that's how you innovate. To make content and advertising material that really wins, it needs to be able to have people remark about it, to share it, and to even talk about it. Because what makes people talk about things is the things you do. This really is one of the most important things because most people don't realize it, but it's what you do that matters. So the money you put into it, the effort, the time, the creativity, these things stand out, and do not underestimate the fact that people notice the details and the effort and the time and the money that goes into certain things, especially when it comes down to your marketing efforts. And so you need to make content that's remarkable, and that's one of the best ways to do it. You're not going to learn that in any marketing class or anything exactly what I just said there, because that's what's working in today's world. And to really stand out and most be remarkable, and how you do that is what I just said. Okay, you gotta make high effort content. Surprise people. Make your content very novel. It needs to have an element of novelty to it and surprise. Not whoa, and scare people, but you want to do content that's super different, but an extreme level of things or doing things or people or location or the activity you're doing, the vlogging, whatever you're doing, whatever you're creating, find ways to take it to the extreme and really visually surprise people, okay? Don't shock people with noise necessarily. You want to take the visual elements to the extreme. So you brainstorm and here's one of the most powerful things is you want to add layers, okay, to what you do. Don't add one layer and think it's going to work. The more violent triggers, for example, or psychological triggers you add to making your content stand out and be different and innovate and make it just surprising overall, there's serious money in that. And I don't think people really take that to heart and realize that, but just also realize marketing is the most powerful skill you could develop in your life because it's one of the most guaranteed ways to always make money. Sales is the next step after marketing because you have to acquire attention to be able to sell. And all transactional money is made via selling things, okay? And selling offers and products and services. And so when you get marketing down, you win. You win. And this is the skill I've been obsessed with all my life since a young age when I first got started into my journey of making money overall, my career. I started freaking in junior high. Actually, it was even before that, in elementary school. I've just always been obsessed with this. I don't know why. I guess I've always been super entrepreneurial, but it's pretty self-evident that marketing is the one skill that will always make you a ton of money, especially in today's world, okay? Money follows marketing. Money follows attention. And so realize that and you get far. So number 5 is extremely important to realize, and it's such a pivotal moment for anyone who's trying to make money. If you're a beginner, pay attention to this step for sure. All these steps for sure. It's very important to realize that the most known person or company, that beats the best quality product in the beginning. And so if you can acquire attention at scale for very low cost or no cost at all, obviously it's going to require some cost, because if you're going to make remarkable content, innovative content, it's going to cost some money. And that's good, because guess what happens is that's way better than paying for paid ads for ads and content that sucks in comparison to if you put your money and budget, let's say for marketing, into your content that naturally gets shared and out there. And there is no luck. And I did make this very clear, and any marketer should too. It needs to be very clear to people that it's not luck. Making great content and having viral stuff happen. By the way, virality is the goal always. Because what happens from virality is it's equivalent to making millions of dollars extremely quickly. And so if you're really good at marketing and acquiring attention at low cost or almost no cost at all, the thing that happens from that is crazy. You become massively known, and attention follows those who are most known. Okay, attention follows money. You can sell almost anything when you have attention, and the money there is crazy. And if you're someone really smart at monetizing, you win. It's kind of funny, but I'll share this. I've always had a lot of attention on my big YouTube channel. People don't really know what it is in my personal brand side of things. I've just been documenting it over the years. But I've been really good at acquiring attention, leveraging big trends and funny things and interesting content. And it's all added up, and I've done affiliate marketing with it, okay? And AdSense revenue. Most people would only do AdSense revenue or some horrible offer to promote that doesn't work or convert very highly. I've always been really good at monetizing, and my point here is, if you're really good at monetizing and you find ways to make money, you're going to be making so much more money off the attention you're able to acquire. You're able to reinvest and scale and build teams. By the way, teams is the most powerful way to scale anything you do, because you leverage other people's time and saves you time, and you're able to double down on what works the best and innovate, okay, which is super key. In my story, when I started documenting my journey in personal brand, I started selling educational offers, which has never passed my other income streams, by the way, almost ever. Maybe in one day it did, doing a product launch once, but that was one day. But anyway, it's been a good income stream. But what I've realized, which is super interesting, I've had a small personal brand over the years. Now I want to grow it, of course, but I've had a tiny personal brand. Just from 100 views, I can make thousands of dollars. Anyone doing educational content or entertaining content would not even make the equivalent to the amount of money that is for getting 100 views on any piece of content. Okay, it'd be like 1 cent or nothing. And so from even 100 views, I make thousands of dollars just with personal brand, because I'm good at monetizing. Because I just get it. I understand. That's something interesting to share with you guys, because that is such an important lesson. Is know how to acquire attention and couple that with massive monetization power, you could say. The potential is limitless with that, okay? Acquire attention really well. And that's something I'm going to be working on with my personal brand side of things, because if I'm able to make a lot of money monetizing really well, then all I need, the only missing component in that scenario, is acquiring attention at scale. All right, so this next tip is so powerful, it's crazy for marketing. Social proof triggers so much likability and trust in your audience and your prospects, in new viewers and new people and cold audiences who see your content or ads. Social proof is powerful, so having social proof in the content, having the numbers of views or likes or whatever, that triggers a lot of likability and trust instantaneously. And this is one of the 25 cognitive biases and heuristics in the brain that just causes people to make better decisions and quicker decisions. Not even quick. It's instantaneous, okay, these decisions when it comes down to cognitive biases. And if you really study the 25 cognitive biases, I basically have them all memorized at this point. I just know each one of them. Maybe not in perfect order, but I'm aware of all of them. And when you get aware of all of them, you study them over time, and you've got pictures on the walls of them and stuff, and whole entire art on the wall, the list of them. It just kind of gets ingrained in your brain. You can even have it as a wallpaper on your phone. If you want to make a lot of money, when you combine multiple triggers, psychological triggers, it creates a Lollapalooza effect. And this is a very real cognitive bias. This is the 25th bias in the 25 biases. And this was created by Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger and even Benjamin Franklin, all these 25 biases. So Lollapalooza is number 25, and you want to combine as many triggers as you possibly freaking can. And what happens from that is absolutely insane. Okay, it becomes such a no-brainer for people to purchase, to follow, to view content and ads and stuff. And that's what marketing is, of course. Social proof is one of the most powerful triggers, in my opinion, other than the two other super response tendencies, which is reward bias is one of the most powerful tendencies. It's number one. Okay, so leveraging incentives. Never underestimate the power of incentive. It is so crazy what people will do just because of incentive. It's so ridiculous. It's insane. Think about things you've done just because of incentive. So that's why that's a super response reward. The next super response is called loss aversion bias. And it's basically people don't want to lose something. In fact, people go to great lengths not to lose something compared to gaining something. You can leverage that in your marketing by fear of missing out. People don't want to miss out on something you're selling, for example. That is powerful. Also having ways to reverse the risk of a purchase. So a refund guarantee or something. That is powerful. That is effective. Social proof. There is no end to how effective that is in marketing and building trust and likability fast. Okay, especially people who don't even know you yet. Alright, this next tip is super funny. Oh, I think this drawing is super stupid. Well, it looks like this might be one of the most important tips by far. So, in marketing, you need to acquire attention at ever decreasing costs. Okay, so it needs to cost you almost nothing to acquire extreme levels of attention and marketing eyeballs, okay, of your audiences and target audiences, and even audiences outside of your target audience, because this all builds extreme level social proof, which is key. So what this represents is get a ton of hooks out there. And what's a hook? A hook is content. You can also apply to the beginning of your ads or content. It's also where you just have so much out there. Now, this is super powerful what I'm about to say. And I think I definitely made a video about this before this video, actually. When you make long form content, and video content's the key here, people don't want to read as much as they want to visually watch content. And this is so important. If someone's behind on just understanding that, they lose. Because it's not about making blogs anymore or books necessarily, basically at all. It's essentially more so about video content. Video content wins in today's world. So if you can make long form content and you can repurpose it and just like distribute it at scale, omnipresence, like being everywhere, what happens from that is extreme levels of acquiring attention for ever decreasing costs, first off, and then huge brand awareness, familiarity bias. Like people just become familiar with your face, with your brand, if you're doing a personal brand, for example, or just like your business overall. What happens is so much familiarity happens from that people just naturally know, like, trust you, and they will buy from you whatever you're marketing. I can't underestimate the importance of so many hooks out there, okay? Because it's almost more guaranteed to get you success if you just like create long-form content and distribute at scale instead of making like super quality content and going all in on quality content and hoping it does well, because that can have a lot of time investment and risk investment hoping it does well. But when you just create great content and do your best making great content and distribute it everywhere, it's crazy what happens. Alright guys, this is probably the most important tip overall. That's why I left it for the end here. Look, it's a box or a square and it turned into a giant freaking square. Now, what does that mean? Basically, what it means is you want to take whatever you do, whatever content you make, whatever ads you make, take it to the extreme level. Like, go all out. Make it extremely novel. Make it remarkable. Make it innovative. Make it visually captivating to the extreme where people have to go share it. Like, there's no choice. You have to share it. You have no choice but to watch it. Everyone has to share it and watch it. When you take even the smallest minute details of your content and take it to the extreme, great things happen. And do not underestimate your effort in and the results from effort in. Do not underestimate the money in you put in your content and ads and the results from that. Do not underestimate the time, the effort, the creativity, everything that goes into it, and all the details. You'll realize that that is directly correlated to extreme levels of marketing success. I could literally make thousands of bullet points here of tips, but these are some really high quality tips for sales. So let's get to the first one here. You want to be adaptable. These are two different cups or whatever holding water in them. Wherever you find yourself, whoever you're speaking with, and whoever you're selling to and persuading, you want to be adaptable to whoever it is. Everyone's got a different personality type. Everyone responds differently to different things, of course. And so you can't just have one hammer to hit every nail, essentially. You want to have an adaptable formula and behavior, or just strategy overall, to sales. This especially works when you're selling over the phone or in person, of course, or to a big, large audience, kind of. You can be adaptable to a crowd by getting feedback from them, and also looking at everyone's face and knowing where the interests are, the demographics of the audience. That's how you crush it with that. When you're doing funnels and websites and you're selling an offer online, and you're getting random traffic sent there. You can do A/B split tests and split tests between different variations that could lead to higher percentage rates of sales rates. Being adaptable is one of the biggest keys to sales because it's really what it comes down to. So everyone's a different type of person. Some people, they want very quick and to the point. Some people want lots of like rambling. They call it twaddle tendency in the 25 cognitive biases. We call it twaddle tendency, which is kind of funny. People sometimes they just want you to be social. And then there's people who want the emotion, and they really respond to emotion. This is all high response rate, ultimately, I'm talking about here, to be adaptable to people. This is just to the messaging side of things. I'll get more to the other most important stuff, but some people just want emotion. They want stories, they want to feel empathy towards you, your story, the product, and why it's a solution for them, if it's even a solution product at the end of the day. But you gotta be adaptable to the individual which you're talking to. Some people are super logical is the fourth one. And you gotta appeal to them logically and appeal to numbers and price points, how it'll benefit them there. And you gotta justify the price and stuff. These are the key things to be adaptable about. It's really, really key. Now, I'm gonna ramble here for a second. There's other elements to sales that are super important. Being someone who's already liked or is seen in a high regard by the individual you're selling to. Someone is very liked by the individual they're selling to. They're going to be more open to the message. That is so freaking important. And then the other most important thing also in sales is people literally, they just buy something that's so freaking good. That's such a no-brainer for the price and the value there. This goes for physical products. You know, you go to a store, there's just tons of physical products. It also comes down to food too. And if you bundle things together and create it like an offer, that really stands out because every other product out there is just a commodity. It's just like, here's the price, here's the packaging around it, here's how it looks, and that's it. It's one thing. But when you do like a bundle of different things combined for a unique price point, you win. You can combine physical products together and also digital products and services all as a bundle for a really great price. And it can also be a higher price at that point because it's unique and it really stands out. And doing that can make such a huge difference in your sales rates because you're standing out and you're really creating and crafting something super valuable for people because that's all it comes down to at the end of the day. Throughout history, people always transacted based off offers, not just single products all the time, but they craft offers. When you go to a store and you have a shopping cart, you're adding a bunch of stuff together for a price point, right? When you realize that, you win at such a crazy level because you really realize the way things are supposed to be and the way things really are and how things are perceived, even without people even knowing it. But that's the truth. So when you create very unique offers, the money there is extremely high. And also when you add a ton of like reward, it's ridiculous what happens because that's a super response tendency. So stack a bunch of rewards and benefits into your offer whenever you're trying to persuade or influence people to do something or buy something. When you add tons of reward and incentives to doing so, the reaction for people can be a super response. All right, the next drawing here is a heart. And what this represents for number 2 is trigger a lot of reciprocity in people. If people get a lot of value from you up front for free, they're more likely to be open to purchasing from you down the road. This could come down to giving content. Like you can see right now, I'm giving content to you. Obviously, I'm doing this because I want to grow a super awesome community of motivated people, entrepreneurs, and benefit a lot of people, and also grow my personal brand. I really care about that because I see the benefits of it, and I'm sure you do too. And if I give a lot of value to you here, you're going to see I've got way more value to get inside the Money Accelerator, for example. And that's just another income stream for me outside of all the other stuff I do, and email marketing and other YouTube channels and affiliate marketing and everything and paid ads. This is just an extra thing. And when I trigger a lot of reciprocity, that's powerful. And when you trigger a lot of reciprocity, when you're doing any form of sales or you're working a job in sales, or you're making content, you're making ads, when you give value up front, you win. And throughout history, people did direct mail letters. They'd send, not way back in history, but when this was a time frame, when this was a thing, marketers would send mail pieces out, or they'd do radio broadcasting, but mail pieces is a big important one. And they do their sales letters and copywriting, where they essentially give a bunch of value up front, they give interesting tips and advice, and they tell interesting stories, and they put it all in connection to an offer that they'd sell. They'd also have follow-up mail sequences to their customers who purchased. This is super powerful to realize because this has always been working forever, and it will not stop, okay? Our brains, our DNA has been slowly adapting over time, but it's really been the same and still there over many generations and ancestors. And so it's still within us. And, reciprocity is a very real thing. And there's a cognitive bias for decision making, which is super crazy. Okay, and what it is, it's called Kantian fairness. People are super just fair to each other. Okay, and when you give to people, that's an extreme level of Kantian fairness. Look it up what Kantian fairness means to the most defined definition. But basically, Kantian fairness is like, do unto others as others would do to you, basically. Reciprocity is just in our DNA. The more you give, the more you can receive. And it is just so important to realize that in marketing and sales. All right, guys, so this next one is pretty funny. I don't know if you can guess what that is. Is it a sword? Is it something else? No, this is a tie right here. But anyway, being a likable authority is so important because when you are authority, people don't like to trust you more and your message more. Okay, it has more credibility. When you're a likable person, people like you more and they're more open to your message and everything like that. And so be a likable authority. And that's so important in any position of sales, anything you're selling ever, any marketing efforts you're doing. It's so important. And by the way, it's so funny because when you're growing up, you're told not to talk to strangers, right? Even in health, it is sales. Probably wondered how in health is it sales? You have to convince yourself to go work out. You have to convince yourself to go eat healthy. Everything's sales. It's so important to be a likable authority when you're selling stuff. So trigger a lot of likability, a lot of trust in people, and be an expert in what you're speaking about and teaching. For example, like what I'm doing here, like I've been doing this for years, okay, making money online and failing and succeeding and learning from lessons and spending tons of money and time to learn from very smart people this stuff and implement it. And so I'm giving you gold here, and I hope you realize it. But it's so important. Also, Jordan Belfort says, be an expert in your field, be sharp as a tack, and be enthusiastic as hell. And those are the 3 tips he gives, because that really comes down to being a likable authority right there. Be super enthusiastic about what you sell. Be really smart, really sharp as a tack, okay, about what you're selling. You're gonna get far. Okay, so these are some eyes here. Basically, I don't know what you think they look like. Who knows? They could look like eggs or something, I don't know. But these are eyes. And it's so important to acquire attention and be known before you sell, because if someone gets value from you before they ever get sold to by you, and if they get value from you, you instantly are a likable authority at that point in whatever industry you're selling in. And if you can acquire attention from the prospects you're selling to and they know you beforehand, or you have a sales team, let's say, of people, and people know, like, and trust your sales team, and you can have content out there or ads out there, especially content though, out there that is building a lot of likability and trust and reciprocity for your salesmen, the close rate is going to be crazy because people already have a relationship they're building and they just know you more, they know who you are, and they have more trust with you. In sales, this is one of the most highest leverage points there is, because you can get on the phone with someone at scale and talk to multiple people per day and sell high ticket stuff, for example. And if they already know you have gotten value from you before ever talking to you, it's just insane what happens compared to if they didn't. And so realizing this can change your life in sales and everything, okay? And you really want to leverage content for this. You want to leverage making a lot of content to build a lot of awareness and have people just know who you are. And then from there, you can sell like crazy. Now, number 5 is you want to sell one-to-one, in person or over the phone. Like in sales, that's how you do it. But I was also talking about in the beginning of this video how if you're doing like a funnel or a website and you're split testing stuff, that's sales, okay? You're testing what will get the best response from people, and that is sales. And it's so important to do phone sales in person, but especially at scale, if you really want to make a ton of money, it's either you're doing like in person and phone sales, selling high ticket stuff, or you're doing that online and you have videos. Because if you make videos that are just like, they are literally clones of you out there, pieces of content people are consuming and watching, and they're selling for you 24/7 all the time. That's where true passive income is created. When you realize that, sky is the limit amount of money you can make there. It's crazy. And when I discovered that, my income just always gone up. The more content you have out there working for you all the time, it just really just adds up. And while you're sleeping, it's getting watched and people are buying whatever you sell. Okay. And I've got multiple different niches I'm in. I've been doing the entertainment niche. That was where my first success was. Just like leveraging other top content, making it fair use, and adding commentary and humor to the content. Literally just promoting affiliate offers and acquiring a lot of attention and promoting tons of affiliate offers, building big email lists. That's always made me a ton of money, and that's always made me money in my personal brand. Even if I get 100 views, it makes me thousands of dollars. When you realize this, it will change your life, okay? And I'm trying to give the most value I can here, and really, hopefully, this is really resonating with you and you're realizing the power here, but yeah, this is how you make freaking money. All right, number 6 is so important. So just like all of these, of course. Now, when you have a top of the funnel of just being known at scale, like it's crazy what happens because you only need a certain percentage to even make extreme amount of money. But if at the top of the funnel you have a very low amount of people who are aware of you, then you're dealing with percentages here in sales. So let's say 1,000 people know who you are, and then you're closing at a 2% rate, you get like 20 people. That's a certain amount of money, right? That's a certain amount of sales whenever you're selling. But let's say 1 million people know who you are and you sell at a 2% rate. It gets pretty crazy. But let's say you increase the sales rate. In either scenario, you're still making more money if the top of your funnel is just huge, okay? So when you're just like building so much brand awareness and you've got so many ads out there, but especially content out there, content is the key in today's world. If you want to make money, you got to make content. If you're not making content, you're not making money. When you realize this, changes your life because you just put action into creating content, and that's directly correlated to your success and the money in your bank account, of course, or bank accounts. When you got multiple bank accounts, you know you're making money, okay? Anyway, and that will happen for you when you know this. The point here is you can increase your sales rate like crazy, and that's great. But nothing is more important actually in sales than being the most known and just building massive awareness in your niche, in your category, in your brand, or just to the masses, like tons of people overall. If you have an offer or a brand or something you're selling that would appeal to a ton of people, okay? So it's either you're going very niche specific and saturating like crazy a whole market and being known, or you're going super broad to tons of people and it just appeals to tons of people. So at the end of the day, in either scenario, you just have to be super known. All right, so this next one, number 7, is follow up with people. So when you follow up with people, that's where the real money is, because most people, it's like 5% of people, they're ready to buy like right then when they see a marketing message and they're considering buying. But like the majority of everyone else who's like could buy, the people who have money or the people in your target niche or people who'd be great for your offer or product or service, you need to follow up, you need to like have a method of following up with them. And in today's world, content is one of the best ways to follow up with people if you're producing a lot of content. It's by far one of the best. But another scenario is you collect email addresses and you make and you make follow-up sequences, make a bunch of follow-up sequences sending emails to people over the course of many, many months, and people will eventually buy. And a high percentage of people will eventually buy whatever you're selling. And that's all because you're following up with people. Also, when you have phone numbers and you can keep calling people back and having a CRM, which is a customer, what's it called? CRM, customer relations management tool or something. Basically, a CRM allows you to follow up with people and just keep notes and tabs on them and when you should follow up with them and when they're best available. And this is just so effective because the real money is in the follow-up sequence. And in phone sales, for example, if you're selling something high ticket, that's the best scenario when you're doing phone sales, or something mid-ticket can be good too, but it just depends. The fortune is in the follow-up. All right, guys, guess what this represents? That is the funniest thing. I bet no one would guess what that image is of, but that is of a scale because like freaking, I stuck a drawing already. Let's see if this makes it look better. Maybe it makes it look worse. Probably makes it look worse. Anyways, that's a scale right there, and obviously this weighs more than that side. And when you're doing sales, you really want to basically make it such a no-brainer for people to buy, of course. And so people always say, make it a win-win situation. Yes, that's important, but you need to make it actually a super win for them and still a win for you. So you make money, of course, but you want them over here getting tons of value in exchange for the price point of which you're selling at. And I mean, when you do this, the sales that happen is ridiculous. And you really have to craft offers that just are such a no-brainer and it's irresistible for people. There's books about creating offers. There's content out there about how to do this, but I'm telling you, combine a ton of stuff together that's valuable for your specific target customers or niche of what you're in, and just make it such a no-brainer. It's ridiculous for a good price point. And the potential is limitless what this can do for you, and it can change your life if you're a beginner making money. This advice I just gave you, this is literally the secrets to the serious big money. Welcome to the Marketing Expert Training. So basically inside of this training, we're going to cover what's predictably working to become an expert marketer, okay? And to do marketing right, it's expertly done. You're going to have a lot of epiphanies. If you're advanced at marketing, you're going to be reminded of powerful stuff and possibly learn something new. Because in all your marketing and advertising and everything, if you use what I'm about to say inside this training, you will do 10 times better than your current marketing. In marketing, you need to go for an exact and immediate response because some companies have marketers and the marketers have no idea what the heck to do. And they need to call in a rainmaker, which is someone who knows how to crush your marketing and totally change around this person's marketing strategy and everything they're implementing, okay, to get results. Because a lot of big companies will just throw money at advertising because it's a tax write-off and it helps them, build more awareness and maintain awareness for their brand and their business. That's like what they do. They'll just go broad awareness campaigns. What you do as someone who's like an expert marketer who knows how to get predictable, profitable results, this is what it's all about. Because most businesses, how they operate is they go for building a product, then they go for building a team, then they go for structure and all this stuff. And advertising is just another cost that also is important, but they don't see it as they want to be profitable. They see it as just building awareness. That's like super important to understand. Marketing is key to huge growth and huge money if you're someone who's working for yourself or if you're trying to build a business from bootstrap. If you have investors and stuff, you can actually just throw a bunch of money at stuff and see a return over a long period of time. Like if you have investors for a business that you're doing. You don't want to do that route. Trust me, you want to do bootstrap, you want to be profitable. So this is what works. So go for the immediate response. What is that? Basically, see, are they going to buy now or are they not going to buy now? Are they going to be a lead right now, or are they not? You spend money in advertising to get leads or sales, and you want that to happen right then. Okay, that's what it's all about. Not a year later or whatever. You want it to happen right then for that target market you're going after, for that target industry. Okay, that's like the first step. You want an immediate response to happen. When you're running on Facebook ads, you'll be able to optimize for conversions, actual conversions. They have an AI for this, everything, and it works tremendously well. You basically run this Facebook ad to get leads, let's say. What happens is it's going to figure out the target cost per lead, and it's just going to get you leads all day long because they have so many people, and they push your best advertisement, and you optimize for your best ads, your best ad placements, your best ad sets, and you can literally get leads for the same price basically constantly. And that's powerful, okay? You get immediate responses constantly. That's lit. There's a lot of platforms out there that don't do that, but Facebook does. Facebook's very powerful. YouTube's very powerful. They have conversion pixels. Anything with the conversion pixels, very great in marketing. Online marketing is better than offline marketing in a ton of ways. You can literally hyper-target exact people you're going after. So as a marketer, that's like what you want to do. Imagine you're running campaigns. Man, some people don't buy, but some people do. Imagine if I could just literally get in front of the exact people who I know are going to buy every single time. Well, you can do that, but you do miss out on the opportunity of maybe people who do buy that are kind of outside of that niche or you're targeting. That's why lookalike audiences are so powerful. But imagine you market to the exact people who actually end up buying anyway. And you can do that, but it comes down to knowing exactly who your target avatar person is, like everything about them to the minute detail, what they eat on a daily basis, what they watch, what their family's like, what their job may be, stuff down to the minute details, what their problems are, what their goals are, everything. A specific and irresistible offer. In marketing, this is so key because you could market and market and market and not make any sales or get any immediate responses because your offer's horrible. So the number one thing in marketing you gotta know is like the one thing that makes the biggest difference is the offer itself. If it's such a no-brainer for anyone who sees it, they're going to take advantage of that offer right then because it's so great. Okay, what is an irresistible offer? It's something with a story behind it. The story actually makes the offer better. Good marketing and emotion behind it, okay, makes it even better. An authority or status symbols associated to the product makes it a more no-brainer offer. A high price point attached to it makes it a no-brainer. Adding bonuses, adding a bundle altogether makes it a no-brainer. These are things that work. Next is a specific type of person. So I remember one point in time when I was making review videos on a specific channel for products, okay, affiliate offers. As an affiliate, you should know that there's a bunch of other people that are trying to promote the same thing. So to stand out, what I did was I added a bunch of bonuses for people who purchased through my affiliate link, and I would send them an email when they purchased. Okay, they would basically send me an email first. They would send an email of proof of purchase, and I would email them the bonuses. And I got a lot of commissions doing this on another channel. I did this for a long time. Just a specific channel, added bonuses, made money, just promoting affiliate offers. And that works. This same concept works all across the board. Have an irresistible offer, add stuff together and bundle stuff together and craft great messaging around the thing you do, and you'll crush it. A great story, great authority around it. It's huge. Next is do a specific type of person, okay? To a specific type of person. When you market, you got to know, once again, who are these people you're selling to, okay? And it's so cool in marketing because you can exactly hyper-target the people that you're going after. I love it. It's awesome. And this is why marketing is so cool, is because it's really not that complicated in a way. When you know what to do, you can crush it. Just target the right people, sell something irresistible, and do other like persuasion strategies to increase conversion rates. You can get yourself a huge raise if you do the right stuff. You can give yourself a huge raise if you just get like a little bit higher of a percentage of people converting on your stuff that you sell. You can give yourself a raise if you increase prices on stuff you sell. Like as a marketer, you have control of your income to the moon. You can scale to the moon. You can enter new industries and crush it. This is a skill that never ends that can become massive skill. How do you make $1 billion? Impact 1 billion lives. That's how you do it. You know, I want to do that so bad. There's steps to do that. And guys, I can tell you what, right now, everyone can become a multimillionaire. There's so much money in the world. As a marketer, that's the number one avenue you can go into to absolutely reach millions super fast, because it's like you put money in, you get money out. You get ROI, return on investment. You need to have a specific deadline for the people because most people procrastinate. So if there's a deadline on that offer, you're going to get way more conversions if not. What you can do is you have a countdown clock. You're like, this deal ends, or the bonuses are gone, or the product's over, something like that, or the price increases at the end of this time. So you could have the sale go on for like 3 days or a whole month or 1 day in your marketing. You say that, and you say it's over at that point. It's over at the end of the deadline. This deal only lasts so long type thing. Okay. That's what you want to do in your angling. It's called urgency, with proof of other satisfied people, social proof of satisfied people and people who love it. This can be very powerful. In fact, it can accelerate things for sure, especially if the people are similar to the people who you're marketing to. Okay, which that should happen by default because these customers should leave reviews and stuff by default. And you can incentivize them to leave a review. Like you can give them a gift card, or you can give them another bonus thing. You can give them another bonus digital product or something in exchange for them to leave a review. And they will. They can write you a review, and you can start adding up tons of reviews to your sales pages and to your ads and everything. If you want video reviews, usually you can just incentivize with cash, like PayPal them or whatever, to do a review. And that can turn into some more money for you. Adding all these together that I'm saying is huge in marketing, guys. This is like one of my go-to like knowledge bases for marketing. So this is powerful stuff. This is all proven. Like we figured out what works in marketing. Okay, us as marketers, we know this stuff works. Reverse the risk for first-time buyers. Turn it around on its head. How you do this is you basically have a guarantee, refund guarantee if you want, but you need to have certain policies in place to protect yourself because some people are weird and, they'll just ask for a refund, but you need to have certain contingencies in place, okay? You can reverse the risk by literally over-delivering. There's so many ways around this, but you want to make it like not risky for them. And how you really do that is building trust and likability. How you do that is through familiarity and people spending time with you and your company and consuming content. Maybe in the backbone of your business is content, and people build relationships with you. Maybe you have an authority associated to your product. It could be you, someone else, or quite a few people who are associated to your thing. And that reverses risk because that's trust. And trust overcomes anyone's fear and any objection. So this is powerful stuff. Next is with a specific, clear call to action. A call to action is like this. It needs to be specific and clear. It's like buy now. One of my favorite type of call to actions is involving reason respecting tendency, which is like a cognitive bias, creates a shortcut to people's decisions. Buy now because this is great. Okay, that's maybe not fully great reason, but you want to give a reason because it's respecting. It's a respected reason because there's a reason. Does that make sense? It just works. Adding in a reason for any call to action can make it do better. So buy now because this will get you X result in X amount of time. Like that's a great reason because people buy into results and solutions to problems. And that's what most of us are selling, is solutions to problems. If you are promoting something that solves a problem, and that's usually in the health, wealth, and love niches, you can literally add in the most intense, fear-based, detailed pain in your marketing, in your sales pages and messaging and everything. You can add in intense like conflict and pain and everything inside your stories, okay, to sell stuff. You can make the solution to the pain and the thing of the character in the story. It could be you, someone else, all that stuff. The solution is the product you're selling. Next is a way to track it's working. So you can use a tracker, but in general, if you're doing online ads, you can literally see, okay, if you use like one of these pixels, okay, that do this, you can see what ad is getting the most conversions, what freaking targeting is, what age and gender is, all these freaking demographics you can hyper target and know and track and figure out what the heck is actually working for you. Now I'm going to throw in some bonus tips real quick. Story selling is one of them. 3 bonus tips here. Story selling. Basically, I mentioned it kind of a little bit before. Story selling, like, it creates more connection and more emotion. And remember, people buy emotion and people buy the why behind the business, the company, everything. They buy the why behind it. Why are they doing this? Why? What is this? What the heck? The story explains that, and the conflict in the story creates emotion, and people buy emotion, and people buy the solution to the conflict. Like, it can get crazy, but in general, a story that's a great story, and the more like unique the story and the more conflict, always the better, guys. The more horrible the conflict, always the better the product performs. The more vulnerable the character, the more the product will perform and sell. Like, it's just, that's how it works. Story selling is not everything, but it's a big one up there. Don't sell logically, okay, in your marketing. Most people are like, okay, the price is $1. Then you're just racing to the bottom because you're selling logically. It doesn't work. You need to be selling to the brain that's back here, the reptilian brain, okay? And I rant about that in different info products I have, like in depth, because that's like big secret to how you can crush it and make a lot of money, like a lot of flipping money. Lollapalooza bias is number 2 for the bonus tip. It's a combination of as many cognitive biases as you can in your marketing. Sole purpose to persuade and everything like that. When you combine as much stuff as possible, what's going to happen? Like, let's say you just implement a great call to action. You're not going to do as well as if you add one more thing or a lot more things, okay? Let's imagine you're competing, because you're competing with your competitors. You need to do Lollapalooza and you'll win. You need to combine as many biases as you can, as many triggers as you can, and stick with this long term. You're going to dominate your industry and market. That's just how it works, man. When you implement more than others, it's Lollapalooza taking over and people cannot resist but buy. Next thing is the value ladder. Basically, you have free stuff, then you have low ticket, then you have mid ticket, then you have high ticket stuff, and you can keep going. I mean, what we've discovered with the value ladder is it never ends. I mean, it just keeps going. And in marketing, you need to be able to spend the most to acquire conversions. So if you have something high ticket, you can spend a lot to acquire conversions because you have something high ticket. You only need one person to purchase. Well, then you have a bunch of other stuff in the low ticket and mid ticket ranges, but you can also have recurring stuff too. Recurring can become the lifeblood of your business because it's like expected income every single month. High ticket allows you to spend a lot of money on ads and beat your competition. There's always more that a customer can get that's valuable. Always. Peace out. The sales black belt. I'm going to go over how you can become a sales black belt. Very powerful techniques and strategies that work in sales today that can make you so much more money than you're doing right now or that you're about to do. Okay, some people are your beginners or advanced, already running products and selling, or you're about to. The importance of not selling logically. So many people out there be selling logically. So by default, any product you see out there, any company that's not doing as well as their competitor, the biggest out there in one industry, like there's always some competitor in an industry or segment of a market that crushes everyone else. And I'll tell you what the difference is soon. Then there's all the other people below that. So many people be selling logically because their neocortex is logical and that's the front of their brain. And they're like, oh, I should sell logically. And this is happening subconsciously. Okay, I'm going to tell people the features and the benefits and sell the features and the benefits. This does not work. I mean, you go buy a car in a car dealership, some salesmen that are not crushing it. Most car dealership guys, I'm assuming, they should know sales enough to know that selling logically doesn't get the sale. It's emotion. Okay, it's emotion. I'll go in. You go to a car dealership and some guy's going to say the wheels are durable. Okay, they're going to last a long time. Or we'll say like the transmission will never break down. This car has seats that freaking lean back or something. This car's fast. That can be somewhat of an emotion, but you need to go off on that detail of fast if you're selling a car. A lot of times as an affiliate marketer, if you're an affiliate marketer or someone just selling some other product, the product by default is always logically formatted. If you're doing this online or if there's some paper in person that someone needs to sign and do all that and look over it, it's logical. The thing that gets someone interested and grabs their attention and creates desire for them to want to buy is the emotion behind the purchase and likability and trust and authority and stuff like that. Above all else, this stuff gets the sale every time. So emotion is very powerful, but it's not number one. Authority will always be number one. And inside Sales God, I talk about just the most advanced concepts you'll ever hear about sales that will blow your mind. Like literally, and will make you so much money, it's ridiculous. An example of selling with emotion. Let's say you go and buy a suit and you're like, man, I want to get the best suit ever out there. Maybe you have a reason behind it. Maybe you're going there for like a dance or something. And you go in there and the salesman is talking to you and he's like, yeah, this suit's so nice. This suit is comfortable, this type of stuff. But then he leaves because you don't like working with that salesman or whatever. And the pro salesman comes over and talks to you. And he's like, dude, try on this suit. This suit's going to look so good on you. You are going to love it. You put it on the suit and you're like, wow, this does feel nice. And then the salesman's like, dude, you look like, what's some authority out there with the suit people may think of? Dude, you look like Iron Man or something like that. The salesman, a good salesman asks smart questions, okay? And gets feedback and knows what the heck this customer really wants, okay? And they dive deep into that, and now they change their messaging. They're adaptable in their messaging to this person. And that works in one-on-one sales because you know who you're selling. But if you're doing mass selling, like online through video, you should do a longer VSL most times, which is video sales letter. You should make it longer. You should appeal to all personality types of people that are practical, actionable, social, and emotional people. You should appeal to all types of people and personality types inside that sales presentation. You literally will want to have a story that sells and explains the why behind your company, has a lot of conflict, which creates the emotion, by the way. The solution to the conflict and all that stuff in the story is the product. That could be someone's testimonial or anything. There's a way to make a suit sell through a story. Let's say this kid wanted to go to prom and he was so nervous and everything, having so much anxiety, he literally couldn't go on living type thing. Okay, so you could go really in depth on intense, horrible conflicts. Okay, so he literally wants to give up. He's like, oh, man, I love this girl so much. I don't know if she'll even come and show up. I don't know if she's even going to show up to the dance with me. I'm worried what she'll think of me, how I look, type thing. I don't know if I'm confident, man. I just don't know. And I'm spending my days and nights just worrying all the time until prom day happens. When it comes time for prom, almost the next day, he's unprepared. And he's like, man, what am I going to do? He goes to his mom. He's like, Mom, I don't know what to do. I don't know if this girl likes me. I'm having confidence issues. I don't know if this is going to work out. I mean, I really love this girl or something like that. And she suggests, let's go to a tailor-fitted suit place or whatever. Okay. And they go to a store to get a tailored suit made for them. And the salesman there knows he's probably preparing for prom. He knows the time of year and all this stuff and stuff like that. He didn't even need to ask the question. He's like, dude, you need a fitted suit. It's going to get you the craziest night of your life, craziest confidence ever or whatever like that for prom. He says prom. And the kid's like, heck yeah, let's go. So the kid's essentially kind of sold because the mom recommended him to go to a tailored suit place and get a tailored suit. But then the salesman just solidified that desire to get a fitted suit. Now what happens is the salesman literally takes advantage of this the right way. He gives a crazy valuable suit and he has a high perceived value price. The kid can barely afford it or whatever or something like that. This guy's such a good salesman because of all these things. And he tells a story similar to this kid's story too, telling the kid the story, and the kid's like, wow, this is amazing. And he's like, are you ready to buy? Because right now this suit, so many other people want it, and we only have so much in supply right now, and it's going to sell out. Do you want the suit right now? Let's go purchase right now. The kid's like, yeah, let's go. And the kid has a great time at the dance, and let's say he gets late or something like that. Yeah, let's go. That's like a little example story of the power of selling with emotion and all these other principles I shared within the story. If you share that story with other prospects when trying to sell a suit type thing, it'll do great. Heck, you could put together a video explaining that story in detail to people, and it could get you more sales. You can run that as an ad. Think of and brainstorm ideas for all this, because this works. When selling your own product, emotion sells. Let's look at phone companies real quick. Apple versus Samsung and Android and all that. Android and Samsung sells logically into features and all this stuff. If you're someone who cares a lot about features, usually Samsung has more special features and stuff they sell on. Apple goes through the approach, and I'm not saying one's better than the other, but I'm telling you that one gets more sales than the other to the massive population, which is Apple. So Apple is selling people in their ads and everything, and associating their brand to status symbols and authorities and celebrities and stuff. And they're selling with emotion. If you look at the ad called Think Different, look it up on YouTube. That ad, they spent hundreds and millions, if not billions of dollars on to literally get the brand messaging out. Emotion, it's an emotional message or whatever, about creating and being different and stuff like this and thinking different. Okay, that's what their principles are, and it works. Being innovative and being simple, all these things. And Apple over delivers too. That's super important in sales. If you look at the two different phone companies, it's emotion that's winning. If you look at out of car companies, Tesla. People are literally, it's emotionally getting sold. Elon Musk knows marketing very well. He knows that you need to sell emotionally to get to the masses, and it needs to be a no-brainer price and no-brainer value for what they're getting. If you look at all the other car companies, they are selling basically in their ads and in their everything perceived about them, literally based off features and price. They literally will just bring up price. Elon Musk doesn't. No. And he also keeps the site very simple and his whole entire process simple. He leverages authorities and celebrities inside his marketing. People are emotionally connected with. He has a story and he has him behind the company and he has a story. Does this make sense now? This is what works in sales. And if you implement this right now and literally take the time to brainstorm how to just bring in emotion and all these other principles I'm talking about in this video to your freaking sales processes and your marketing and everything involved, you will crush it every time. The power of having a logical no-brainer offer is huge because you're going to have a buyer frenzy, bro. If you have just the most craziest high value, perceived value offer for what the price is. So let's say you're selling something for $47 or something. So like around $50. You need to have something perceived as $500 to $1,000 to $5,000 worth of value. Okay. And no one really puts that in their head logically. It's all emotion. Don't forget this. High perceived value comes across through literally what they're getting, but that's illogical. It's even deeper than that. It's the story behind it that actually can create intense perceived value above what the price actually is. And then the authority selling it or association to authorities selling it, price anchor. Okay. That's another logical thing, but a story and authority behind it and a why behind the product is a no-brainer offer. And what they're getting, they justify their purchase after the emotion. They logically justify their purchase or what they just purchased. This is how like big sales are made, big time. Never ever, I want you to get one thing out of this video. This is the core principle I wanted to have in the sales black belt, is stop selling logically first. Logic does sell, but people justify logically. So they need to be convinced with a little something else first, which is emotion. They need to be emotionally sold first. How to make 10K a month with paid ads. The fastest ways to make money online. Literally, it's mind-blowing how much money you can make. Literally, you just set up an ad. If you have the right system and the right stuff to sell, you can make so much money, bro. So this is crazy. This stuff's going to change your life. So let's dive right in. So this is all about how to set up your paid ad. This is very important, so pay attention. You need to basically set up your ad in the most simple manner where it's not too confusing for you. Because if it's too confusing, it's going to be crazy. So here's what you need to do. You need to think of your system. You need to think of your plan and your strategy. I'm going to give you a lot of plans and strategies in here. Funnels, stuff you can sell, how to find the right products, how to make money. Okay, so you literally pick a platform. Here's your platform. You're going to have up to 5 different ads you can split test. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you're going to have at least 3 to 5 ad groups. 1, 2, 3 ad groups. Okay, and inside those ad groups, you have, the same 5 images in each ad group. These are getting split tested. These are getting split tested on the platform. Okay, P4 platform. So now all you got to do is you got to have now a funnel set up, you drive traffic to, and you make money, baby. All day long, you're printing money. The whole goal of this whole thing is you put in $1 and you make all the way to $2 plus back. And that is the goal. That is the secret. And literally, it's basically like you had a slot machine. Every single time you pull that thing, you're printing money. Like you're making money. And guess what? If every single dollar you put into a slot machine, you made out $2 or more, how much money would you put into that thing? Tons of money. Where to go to basically advertise. So there are many platforms out there. I'm talking thousands of platforms you can get traffic from and actually make good money. But how you make good money in advertising is actually this. You literally have the right system and plan and strategy set up. That's how you make money with paid ads. Okay, so where you go is there's a lot of platforms. Here's one of the platforms. YouTube, Facebook ads. Now this one's very popular, one of the biggest market shares in the advertising industry. And Instagram is owned by Facebook and all that. But YouTube is huge. Facebook is huge. There's a lot of options out there. Depends on what you want to advertise. But right there is good enough. Pick a platform, you can make millions with either one of those, okay? You just need to have a good system set up, a good funnel set up, you can make tons of money. Everyone has a question about what do you promote and what do you advertise? This is so key, pay attention, powerful. So these are all your options here. So you got physical products, usually that's like freaking a toothbrush or some pills or a supplement or something, or a book. Digital products, like something that teaches something, usually an educational product, a book or a course. Next is a service. Now, services can be priced really high, really low, doesn't matter. Most times you're going to end up doing a higher price for a service. Now, you got to figure out what you want to advertise, right? And usually, if you advertise a service in the back end and you have physical products and digital products, you're set. You can advertise all day long, make money. Low ticket, mid ticket, and high ticket and recurring. These are then your other options. You need to have every price point. It's called a value ladder. You're going to have every price point throughout your system and your strategy, your plan of how you're going to make money with paid ads. You're going to be literally selling all these things. So basically make a checklist and make sure you sell every type of one of these things. So I'm telling you, that's super, super important. And that's what you promote. Okay. And also in whatever niche you pick, it may be health, wealth, or love niche. Literally find ways you can find physical products in that niche. Find ways you can do digital and service and everything. I'm telling you, that's so important. Whatever amount you're going to invest into paid ads, you need to realize it's not gone forever. In fact, when you invest into paid ads, you're going to get conversions. So not all the money's gone. Here's the most important thing. You're actually gathering data when you start to advertise. This is key. So you're going to get data that may be bad, maybe the worst ad set. Remember the first part of this video, I was showing ad sets and the ads themselves? There's going to be one of those ads that performs the best. There's going to be one of those ad sets that performs the best. You're just advertising to find out which one's the best. Then you scale with that. That's called green data. Now, when you also invest in advertising, you're learning, especially as a beginner, you would be learning. So go ahead and invest in advertising, and you're going to learn as you go. And especially when you have a good system, you basically cannot fail because you actually have a system that works. Now, whoever can invest the most to acquire traffic wins, baby. I'm telling you right now, it's so powerful. But literally, when you do a credit card, when you invest in the paid ads, you can get back tons of money, especially for travel. Like literally for travel, you could travel the world with all that points. Okay, so that's a lot. Money, 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 money. That's the topic, right? Okay, so wow, that's a lot of money, guys. And you can make a lot of money with paid ads, like I said, a ton of money. So we're going to talk about where do you actually begin. You need to basically have knowledge, so you're learning as much as you can. Then you need to form a strategy and then take action on it. When it's working, double down on that thing, scale up your paid ads. You'll make so much money. The slot machine, $1 in, $1 back. Actually, way more than that. Okay, let's say 50 bucks in, $100 back out. That's basically what I'm saying. It's crazy powerful. You do that again and again and again and make money. Here's a really effective strategy. Basically, you're going to pick a traffic source, and you can pick just one traffic source to start with. And then I recommend get ClickFunnels. Get the platform. ClickFunnels is super straightforward. I can actually build a funnel for you that's super profitable. This is the most simple way you could go about this, okay? Heck, you don't even make your own products. You just pick a niche. You find a bunch of affiliate products, high ticket, mid ticket, and recurring. So this is an opt-in page. The opt-in page, you're going to get something free in exchange for email addresses, and then you're going to go ahead and set up an autoresponder sequences, a ton of emails, be marketing to people. Next, after the opt-in, you send them to, this is your choice, okay? You can send them to a high ticket or mid ticket, but low ticket most likely won't help you cover your ad costs. That'll be an issue, okay? So basically, you're going to have an affiliate offer right here, or you want to offer. One of my favorite funnels, which I actually do in the Done For You funnel, is actually a tripwire funnel, where it has literally low ticket offer, then an order bump, then a ton of upsells, and then all the affiliate offers in the back end. You make a lot of money with that. That's like 10x ROIs, 5x ROIs. It's one of the most effective ways to actually put money into advertising. But when you do the opt-in funnel, you could still make money. You could do 2x ROIs all the way to 5x ROIs. It depends on the niche. Making money. When you decide what's your budget for paid ads, this is super important. Everyone's got this question, I'm telling you. My grandma's got this question, my sister's got this question, and your dog's got this freaking question. So here's the answer to this question. Basically, whatever you're advertising, high ticket wise, is your budget. So if you have in your back end a high ticket service or a high ticket product that's around 500 and above, that's your budget. For every single freaking 500 bucks you spend, if that's your high ticket thing, $500, then you need to basically make $500 back from that one. You need to get one sale of $500. You spend $500 in ads, you make one sale of that $500 offer, but guess what? You acquired a ton of leads, you acquired a ton of sales, and a ton of money. Your daily budget is determined by whatever you really have the budget for. So if you have $100 in your bank account, go ahead and only spend 10 bucks on advertising, and then just keep reinvesting until you reach that $500 mark for your $500 offer, $100 sale. You just broke even on advertising, but made a ton of conversions throughout the process that you reinvested and you grew with. This is really powerful. This is how you do it. Boom! So what are the keys to being profitable? So the keys to being profitable in paid ads, which by the way, if you're going to invest in paid ads, your goal is to be profitable, right? You want money. So how you do that is actually very simple. I've kind of covered it. But having a lot of offers at different price points and different types, like physical, digital, and then service, this is how you become really profitable. You're offering a lot of options for people to literally get value from you and your business or whatever you're doing. Okay, if you're just building email lists, that's an asset too. That's a business. So basically, whatever you're doing, you just need to be profitable. You're going to make money. So the main key though is have a lot of offers, but mainly have something high ticket because that decides your budget. Whatever decides your budget is how you make really a lot of money. So if you're selling something, let's say $700, you invest $100 in ads. As long as you get one or two sales, you're profitable with two sales right there. But if you get one sale, you break even on the ads. But if you get a lot of sales of the other stuff, which you will, low ticket, mid ticket, and recurring, and high ticket, but the high ticket allows you to decide your budget and spend a lot on traffic without really caring, because whoever can invest the most to acquire conversions wins. Okay, so moving on. I came from the bottom to the top. My family was never wealthy. I sacrificed a ton of time, a ton of friendship, a ton of relationships with my family and stuff to literally be, and it wasn't bad or anything, but I just sacrificed time with them to basically figure things out, to learn, gain knowledge, test and fail things. I always failed forward. I was bullied in high school. It sucked. I was suicidal at multiple points because I hated my jobs and stuff like that, okay? I just never could do that. And then I figured it out, okay? And I figured out the formula. And anyone can do this. And by the way, paid ads, fastest way you can make money online. That's what we're talking about here for beginners. All your questions answered. So if you want to learn more powerful stuff, I've got courses about this. Heck, I even have a done for you funnel service where I build you a profitable funnel. Welcome to a new video. Let's go. In this video, we're going to talk about how online marketing can make you a ton of money. So the first tip in online marketing is get as much traffic as you can to whatever you sell. And then your number one focus on income producing activity every single day is going to be running traffic.
All right, another big tip for online marketing is knowing your market, what you're trying to shoot for, what customers you're trying to get, what item are you selling to the certain people, and just having a good knowledge of where your dream customers are and everything is going to play a huge role.
Very hard to make.
What a fucking hard. In the middle.
You need to have many upsells after your first product. It is very hard to be really profitable when you're only selling one thing. So what you need to do is you need to sell one thing, and on the back end of that one thing, have multiple upsells in order to make money.
Boom. Oh, baby, let's go.
Marketing is all about marketing and growing an audience. That's all it's so open. And the reason why is because marketing is all about breaking even and growing an audience. Okay, guys? And the reason why is you need audience to sell anything 24/7.
Brick and mortar, people have to go in there and open it up every day, and then they have to close it, and they can only run between like probably 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. So they have a set time that they can only make sales. For an online store, you can make sales at any time all around the world because your marketing can be in Asia, China, Russia, wherever. And you can be, whenever it's nighttime over here, it's daytime over there. So when it's buying time over there, you could be sleeping here making that cash.
I do agree with that. And plus, online is so much easier. Anybody from anywhere in the world can buy from you. Like anywhere in the world. You're making money while you're sleeping, you know? People don't necessarily need to come to your store and buy. There's no such thing as time. Time is not even a real thing online. Business,
like called
yeah, well, you have a business online, so I do recommend that. Facts, very true.
So the thing about online marketing is there's like zero expenses, kind of. Like there's hardly anything. It's like less than $100 to run a business online, but it's thousands per month to get started and run a business offline. So that's like the one thing there.
But the reality is, guys, the internet, whether you like it or not, it's the future. So if you don't have an online business, you are kind of missing out because that is just how the world works nowadays. So
Yeah, true. So the next tip is model success like crazy to make money online, and especially in marketing. You can literally use spy tools nowadays to spy on working advertisements and literally copy them. And in fact, you can go ahead and make them better. You can see what made them work and then just do it better. You can look at their freaking funnel, you can see their ads. And a lot of times actually I've noticed really, really good ads in whatever niche it is, usually viral content in that niche. If you're in the health, wealth, or love niches or any other niche outside of that, you can look for viral content, okay? And why that's good, especially Facebook ads or anything in general, it works. It's proven to work. It's proven to be shared. Because it's proven to be shared, it's gonna get shared on your ad. Just gonna get you more free publicity. It's very powerful.
another tip when it comes to online marketing that you need to understand is videos are so powerful, okay? A lot of people, they throw an ad up and it's just like a still image and it's just boring, right?
Yeah.
Videos are way more engaging. Like you're watching a video right now.
Yeah.
You can do a lot more with the video than you can in the picture, and it's very possible to create video ads.
Yeah, literally, it's very important. Like, especially nowadays, videos are super powerful. And plus, it literally helps you. And the reason why is it puts trust in the people that, like your audience, you know? Put yourself out there and don't be afraid.
The next thing to talk about is cold traffic. What is that? It's people that have no clue who you are, and you need to basically bring them into your world, business or your brand, and get them indoctrinated with video marketing actually, and they'll become hot traffic. Hot traffic are people that are gonna buy from you 24/7, like fire, like wildfire.
You don't necessarily need to target people that have bought from you over and over and over. You need to have new audience that have never heard of you.
So cold traffic is like the broadest group you can ever get. It's cool because these advertising platforms can literally target the exact people you're trying to target. They can get your ad in front of those people, and you can bring them into your world, turn them into hot traffic, which is the people who buy from you is the hot traffic.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really powerful.
A buyers, a buyers, a buyers, a buyers, a buyers, a buyers, a buyers.
Basically, in today's world, you cannot compete profitably in today's world with ads. without something high ticket. You gotta have something high ticket to actually make money nowadays. So you can have low ticket, mid ticket stuff, prices is what I'm talking about, but you gotta have something you're charging high ticket for. That's like the only way.
So one thing that you want to do whenever you start making sales, and this applies to basically any industry, any business, is you want to take the money that you're earning and reinvest it back into your business. A lot of people they'll start making some money and then they just go and like spend all the money, right? They just waste it. You want to take the money that you get from your sales and pump it back into your business through advertising. It's kind of like an infinite loop. You want to keep doing that over and over and over until one day you'll have enough income to where you don't need to pump it back in anymore, really, and then you can go and spend that money.
Just kidding. Make it easy for anybody to choose you over anybody. And the reason why I say that is nowadays everybody wants to do online marketing. At the same time, everybody acts like they're too good to be able to communicate with you. If I go ahead and try to communicate with some online gurus out there to be able to learn from them, they act like they're too good to be able to like talk to me. No, that's not how it is. You need to make it easy for everybody to communicate with you, as well as to make it easy to get a booking. Okay? So that's what I would say on that one.
You want to double down on what works. If you're doing any kind of advertising, kind of marketing, you're probably going to be running split testing, trying a bunch of different things. And you want to do that, that's a good thing. But what you want to do instead is you want to figure out which one of your split tests is working the best and then just like go ham on that one because it's working, so double down. You don't want to be doing something a lot that's not working, but you need to test things in order to figure out which one works.
Yes, when you have something that works, double down and scale quickly with it.
Yes, yeah.
Adapt fast. People do judge by its cover, so make it
in your brand, in your business, people do judge a book by its cover. It's very important that your brand messaging and your brand in general is perceived in that very good light. The truth is, people judge it. Some of the biggest brands have a high status, association to them. Have your brand perceived in that light, you're gonna do really, really well.
Along with that is you want to prioritize having your brand be very authentic. You want to be have an authenticity, have a good story behind it. Like, what's the reason? Having a memorable message to your brand. They don't want to just see a brand. They want to know like Nike. There's just do it. That's how they're remembered as. People, you want to have that same type of business model with your own business, with having memorable message for your brand to be related to.
The power of having an audience is freaking awesome because they will literally go ahead and buy. People get freaking high from buying, so keep in mind. Launch your product.
Boobs.
Heck yeah. Did you say boobs?
Yeah, pretty far out.
Usually it's the person who says that authority, so I know it's you.
So there's 3 ways in marketing to grow any business. And what they are is first, traffic. The more traffic you bring into your business, the more money you're gonna make. So if you focus on that, your business will grow. The next one is higher average order value. And how you do that is just have more offers, more stuff to sell. You can even launch more products in the future and have high ticket stuff. And the other one is have a lot of recurring and them coming back and back and back. Like restaurants, people come back. Get them returning back to your business, you're gonna crush it. So that's really 3 ways to grow any business. Focus on those, you're gonna grow. Hopefully, if you get a screenshot of this, it's best tips.
Make sure to click on this video and on this video and on this video and on this video and on this video.
The fundamentals of direct response marketing. One of the best ways to make money ever. Because what you're doing is you're entering an industry and a market and you're looking for them to have an immediate response to your advertising. Like, are they going to buy? Are they going to give you their email? Are they going to freaking convert? This is one of my favorite forms of marketing and I'm sure it'll be yours too. This is my go-to information for how to just crush it with marketing. Most of the people I've followed that are you could consider gurus have made me successful in marketing and everything. They have shared so little advice on marketing. It's crazy and I want to end that. Because marketing's that one thing that will make people so wealthy if they take action on it. It's crazy. The fundamentals of direct response marketing. And what is direct response? Once again, it's get an immediate response from the target people you're going after. Immediate response. The next one is a specific, irresistible offer for them to buy or opt in for or anything like that. Irresistible offer. You're making a funnel with the sole purpose for people to either buy or to give their email. Because you look at most advertising and literally they're not looking for people to buy. They're just going for brand awareness. And what's so good about that? People like you and me who want to make direct ROIs on our investments, we literally are looking for that response. We're doing all this right. And big companies are not doing this. In fact, if a big company wants to make money, they seek out people like us and people who are about, like you, who's about to learn this stuff to crush it. A no-brainer price for how much value they're getting. The price needs to be here while the value's up here. That's a no-brainer offer. And that's very easy to do when you bundle a bunch of stuff together that's relevant for whatever niche you're doing. You need to market to a specific person, because you could just advertise all day, but if you're not actually targeting exact people that actually would convert, you're just wasting money. You're getting brand awareness, which is great and all, but it's like, you want to freaking have specific people seeing your ad. What if you could advertise to everyone who's actually going to buy? 2 cents per person who purchases. It's crazy. That's possible with this. So big platforms with like freaking artificial intelligence that knows who people are and has your ads automatically be optimized, all this stuff, they seek out your customers automatically and you can crush it. You want to get targeted people, an irresistible offer, and then look for an immediate response from them to buy or to become a lead. Specific deadlines like, so let's imagine you're throwing a party for all your friends. Susie's this hot chick. She's a babe. And she wants to throw some party. She needs to get a bunch of people to show up at this party. And so she sets a specific deadline. She's like, everyone needs to be here at 3 a.m. in the morning. This is the after party, boy. Everyone tries to make it, but the deadline was just so hard to make. Even she couldn't even prepare for it. She fell asleep. And one horny guy shows up and he's like, I really, really want to be at this party, but it looks like there's no party, so he just goes home. That's what you need, is a specific deadline that makes sense. Okay, you need a specific deadline that actually makes sense. It's like, today we're doing this sale, this bundle, this no-brainer offer. It's got scarcity involved too. There's only a certain amount left. That's called direct response marketing. You need to have a specific deadline. If you don't have that, your advertising won't work. We've cracked a code as expert marketers of what works. In fact, this is stuff that's been working for centuries. This stuff makes money. If you want to crush it in marketing and your paid ads especially, which is the best form of income in the world, it's more predictable than stock market, all this stuff. There is math involved in marketing. It's put money in, you make money out. You put money in, you know how much it costs per lead or per sale. You know how much on average you're making per lead and per sale. You know your numbers. It's the most predictable way to make money ever. That's why I love marketing so much. That's why so many people can become successful in it. But it's that high income skill most people don't ever master. With proof of other satisfied people, say just social proof. So social proof is a cognitive bias that people see other people specifically just like them buying or saying they love the thing and what's getting marketed to them currently, the offer. That's a no-brainer. People are going to buy. It's such an obvious thing. If one element is off so far in your marketing, that'll just ruin it for you, because if you're not even running ads to the right people, then you're not going to crush it. If you don't have a no-brainer offer for the price and value, you're not going to get tons of sales, even if you have everything else lined up. Specific deadline's important, but not the most important thing. This just gets people to take action. People will take action regardless if it's a great offer. But reverse the risk for first-time buyers. Reverse risk. This is so key, okay? Because naturally people are risk averse. Naturally people don't want to do a thing like bring out their wallet and buy something. Naturally, especially if it's just a want, not a need. You need to make something become a want and a need and a desire and a freaking interest. Like, they want interest, they're interested in it, they take action on it. The offer needs to be such a no-brainer. And the risk needs to not be there. So it should be like refund guarantee type stuff, 30-day refund, 60-day refund, 365-day refund. Like, when you reverse that risk, people buy, bro. It's actually insane. Just that one tip right there. It's just one more element that actually increases conversion rates even higher. Because so many people are risk averse, it's actually funny. With cold traffic especially, which in marketing is your goal, to run ads to people who have no idea what your company is and anything like that, that's how you crush it. Is like, there's no risk here, guys. You don't say that directly. It's like, it's portrayed naturally and obviously to them. Have a specific call to action. Call to action. Needs to be specific, like, buy this now, go here. Like, when you give step-by-step of how to actually buy, like, that helps. Okay, because people literally don't know what to do. People know how to buy from Amazon because they've done it so much. People don't know how to buy from your site because they've never done it yet. So if you actually explain step by step what to do, go to this page, click this button, get your wallet out, go buy, blah, blah, blah. Like, specific call to actions. It doesn't need to be too specific like I was just saying, like step by step, but it can be specific. In fact, it needs to be authoritative. It needs to be like, go buy now because blank reason. A way to track it's working. So a tracker. Like, how are you going to know it's working unless you know your numbers and stuff? Well, direct response marketing by default allows you to do that, especially nowadays. In the past, it was much harder to test stuff. The first split test ever in history, I think it was Ogilvy on advertising talked about it. He was like, we made 2 versions, mail letters. Okay, so they sent to people's addresses. People basically got this mail. And whichever one worked best, they knew, because there was a certain type of purchase. They would buy and they would know. They would just know who it was. I think it was either it had a specific offer in it, they were split testing, or it literally had like a specific kind of you could call it a tag or whatever that makes it its unique offer. And that's kind of how they did it. They split tested that way, and they just did 2 split tests. They would probably run tons of split tests at that time. Next is the ability to storytell. Storytelling is a powerful skill. It can never be mastered. People love stories, and good stories will always sell. A demonstration of a story, like a movie's a demonstration of a story, for example. A freaking telling of a story. Telling a story. And to sell something, a good story for selling stuff, it's not an entertaining story necessarily. It should be, but it has a character with high levels of conflict with the desire probably to have it solved. And the solution to the whole story at the end was they found something that solved their problem. And you go in detail on emotion and everything. It sells, okay? Direct response marketing like crazy. It sells. Is Lollapalooza bias. So we already have a few cognitive biases. I don't know if you notice them, but each one of these could be considered an actual cognitive bias. This is authority bias, the call to action, the frequent social proof bias, the risk averse bias, Lollapalooza bias, LL. That's basically when you basically stack as many biases as possible and sales tactics, if you will, for the sole purpose to persuade someone to purchase or to become an email lead. Like the more biases you're stacking, the better. This is already by default the fundamentals of direct response marketing stacked, but this is a bonus right here. Like we'll do a line. These are the bonuses I'm giving you. You want to basically have a lot of offers. A lot of offers. The more offers you have, the numbers just work out even better because the percentage will always buy. So you got something for free, which is for the emails. Okay, emails are definitely worth something because you can remarket to them. And then you got low ticket, mid ticket, high ticket, and a recurring offer in the back end. And then you have affiliate offers. Then you have freaking sponsorships and stuff, like partnerships and everything like this. That's the fundamentals of freaking direct response right there. I expect people to be making crazy money just from learning this right now. The most highest income skill in the world, especially nowadays, is the ability to acquire attention and to basically make money from that attention. This is the true keys to marketing. So in this video, we're going to talk about the 3 ways to grow any business to the moon. How do you grow any business to the moon? Do you have any ideas? Well, I'm sure one of them is traffic, and that is what it is. So I'll tell you right now, 3 ways to grow any business is get more traffic, bring more customers in, more eyeballs in to see your stuff you sell, especially on the front end. Get them indoctrinated to your brand by seeing content, stuff like that, and then sell higher ticket stuff, get traffic. And then the next one, number 2, is get more buyer frequency because recurring can become the lifeblood of a business. In fact, it's guaranteed income. So you can actually base your employees and base your hard costs and even scale too, like with ads and stuff with expected returns because you know you're going to make more money. So I believe recurring is key. And that should be the core offer because it's recurring. Huge. What I'm doing is on the first upsell of a funnel I'm doing. Oh, that was a funny call. First upsell of a funnel I'm doing, it doesn't matter the niche, but it's in the health niche. First upsell is a recurring membership. Why is the first upsell a recurring membership? Because after someone buys, they're more likely to take the first upsell. Why not make it the core thing you want, which is recurring? Have high ticket, have a higher lifetime value, have higher average order value, which is very powerful to do. You can spend a lot on traffic when you are able to spend a lot on traffic. That's really it. If you have $1,000 thing, usually that's the minimum I think of, maybe 500 minimum for a high ticket that I consider high ticket. Okay, and what you should consider too. So let's say you have $1,000 thing, you spend $1,000 on ads, and it's like $1,000 profit thing, we'll say. You got like a couple sales of $1,000 thing, you're profitable. Maybe that happens within a month from spending $1,000. You get like a few sales of it from those people you got. And then let's say you brought in a lot of traffic because it was like $1,000. That's enough traffic to call it a lot. And then you have a funnel where you're breaking even. So you send people on the front end to a funnel that's breaking even, acquiring customers, which is the lifeblood of a business too. And what makes a business valuable is customers. And then you get people into recurring. That's your core offer. And you can have the upsell, but also in the back end, you can also get people into the recurring thing too. You could mention it and talk about it or have a specific page meant for that too, so you can send people to it. But if you do all those steps, you can grow any business and have a very powerful business. And, that's basically a value ladder, is having a lot of offers, even recurring and high ticket. Then just send a bunch of traffic. And if your stuff is converting, which it should, just do good messaging and stuff and then optimize from there and have stuff to sell. Make it work for any niche. Like it does not matter the niche at that point. Because if you have a value ladder, you can spend a lot of traffic targeting the exact people you're looking for. Free content. You get people trusting and knowing you and all that, interested in buying. You can get people buying like crazy just organically and with paid traffic. So this is powerful. The truth about what a real online business should be and how it should be acted like. So when you start a business, you're going to start one of the core 3 niches. Start health, wealth, and love. Then you're going to make a bunch of content, up to like 30 videos on YouTube specifically, and you can repurpose that onto Instagram and Facebook. But yeah, you want to make like 30 videos that are good. You know, you could stand in front of the camera and talk kind of like this scenario, or it depends on the niche. You could do like screen record teaching video, or you could like do your voice, hide behind camera, and do like B-roll footage and stock photos with text pop-ups and stuff. But I recommend, be the face of your brand. It's way more powerful. It's one of the best ways to make money. And just be an expert in one of those core niches or a sub-niche inside of those niches. So if it's a wealth niche, be like real estate or something, even inside real estate, like wholesaling or house flipping or something. After you make like 30 videos of content, you're going to realize what your best performing one is, then double down on that. And then you can run an experiment later in the future, but definitely double down on those top performing videos you did. And it could be just maybe one video that you tested that did well, but you want to model the success of others. Those are what your 30 videos at first are initially based off of. And this is how real online business should be. Like, you should get a presence online and make content. That's the first step after you pick a niche. After that, you've got some products during that time, but I recommend don't even sell anything during that time. But if you need a little motivation, then you can link to at least one thing or two things, okay, during that time where you can get some money. And then after you've done those 30 videos, go ahead and reinvest the money you made and boost your channel. Okay, you want to boost your social presence online. So you can boost your top videos, literally targeting the exact people. And you could do this worldwide targeting, or you could do a specific tier 1 country targeting. And you just reinvest all the money you made during that time and just put it into your business. Treat business like a business. I told you this. Or you could do 30% of what you made and put it into your business. Like I said, like you can invest 30% of your money. That's what best investors do. But after that, after you boosted the content, you're going to keep creating content still. You're going to build a great funnel for the front end too. And you're going to start running traffic to that. And you're going to tweak it and everything until it's break even. You grow an audience. You grow an email list more specifically too. And you just keep growing an audience and you keep creating content. Now, when you reach a substantial amount of followers, you can do like a launch of a product or whatever you want, or a service. You can launch that and make a significant amount of money, and then you can go ahead and invest it to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. When you reach a certain pinnacle threshold, you can grow naturally and organically without doing paid ads, but I still recommend do paid ads. And you can also retarget your audience too, okay, when you do like the launch of a new thing. This is how businesses run. It's about acquiring an audience, about acquiring customers, acquiring an email list, sending people to high ticket, low ticket, mid ticket, and especially a core offer of recurring, whatever that may be. Sometimes, and most times, it's a membership in this scenario in these 3 niches. But you can get in any other niche. You can sell a physical product and do this too. A physical product's great for this. Some books I recommend is every book on marketing and sales. There's a book called Expert Secrets I recommend geared towards this. You don't have to be an expert to do this. Okay, you can literally be one step ahead of someone. Okay, but I recommend be like 1,000 or trillion steps ahead of people, like literally. That's way more powerful. But at the end of the day, you can keep improving and getting better and better. And I hope you guys like this. This is how online business is ran. Literally. It's all about building trust. And how you do that is with having videos that people watch online. And, then they want to buy something. It's just as easy as that. Solve a problem. I mean, just go through the videos here. I explained everything. This took me years to learn. I could start from scratch, literally, and do any niche, and I could crush it just by knowing this stuff. It's crazy. So you guys can literally crush it with this. When you have money working for you, you're going to make so much money. You don't even have to really work, okay, when money's working for you. So how do you do that? When you have a significant amount of money, I would say a couple mil to invest, then this is how you do it. Like when you have a couple mil in the bank to invest, this is how you do it. You should really invest half of it, but let's say it this way. Most smart investors invest 30% of their income. So you divide or whatever, you divide all your money by like 30% or whatever. What I do is I take my money in a calculator, the total amount per month, okay, that I have available to invest, which would be the total amount then by 30%. So total amount times 0.3 equals, then you see the amount. And that's the amount that you can totally afford to even lose. Because people can totally survive off the 60%, no problem, unless you're only making 100 a month or something, but you won't be making that much after knowing all this. After you basically invested in your brain, which you have here, you have all the knowledge, so you're going to make money. But at the end of the day, this took me years to learn. So the truth is you honestly don't need, and this is crazy, I'm saying this, you really don't need to learn anything else about marketing, sales, or business at this point. I'm telling you, it'll be a waste of time. You'll literally just hear the same stuff again and again and again. Because this is the truths, okay, about how to make money online, which making money online is the best input, the easiest input, or the least amount of input for the most amount of output of money out of any business model I've ever seen. So it's definitely worth your time. And, you've learned all this stuff. Basically, at this point, there's just like a couple more modules here to go through. Basically, yeah, you take 30%, you invest in what you know. at the end of the day, I say invest in traffic because that's most likely, if you're watching this is what you are learning. This is what you know really well, is invest in your business, in traffic, invest in equipment, invest in better production, invest in employees. All this is tax write-offable too. And, at the end of the day, especially at the end of the month, and if you're paying taxes quarterly and stuff, at the end of each quarter, you should just spend like all your money, honestly, and grow your audience more. And you can keep money, obviously. And heck, when you have a business bank account, you just pay yourself. That's already, you take the taxes out and stuff and all that easily. And, when you have a team, it's very, very powerful, guys. So we're trying to think big here and teach you guys powerful stuff. But when you have a business bank account, you want to spend a lot of that money on employees, on building the business, on advertising, on innovating too, and creativity and production, all that. At the end of the day, how you invest your money is in what you know. So here's the options of what you can do. You can invest to learn more. I don't recommend that after this, but it still is a tax write-off. All these are. Okay, investing is so cool because everything's a tax write-off and it makes you more money. So understand that too. Like, it's crazy. It's so cool. The other thing is buying businesses. The other thing is obviously advertising. The other thing is investing into your business in any way, investing in other people's businesses, which is stocks, like I mentioned. So I'm repeating myself a couple times. Investing in real estate can make you more money back. Investing in things that are rare, okay, and in high demand is always a good investment. So things that are scarce and in-demand resources, as Ty Lopez likes to say, and other smart investors, they say invest in things that are scarce and in demand, because then it goes up and it's great. Invest in blue chip stocks, invest in things. You can even take a portion, like 10%, invest in something high risk, something you don't understand. It could be stocks. It could be cryptocurrency or something. Like in the future, if you're watching this, cryptocurrency will reach a pinnacle and everyone will be using it. I'm sure of it. And then just invest in different things. But for now, definitely invest in cryptocurrency. It's very powerful. I'm like all in Ethereum. I could go all in Bitcoin and stuff like that with my money, but Ethereum is just as good, if not better, in its own way. Like it excels in its own way. It's like smart contracts. I studied the crap out of it, and I put quite a bit of money in it. And I know that Ethereum is just going to grow just like Bitcoin. Bitcoin per Bitcoin will be like $1 million per Bitcoin because so many people will use it. The market cap is so high. There's so many Bitcoins available. When there's a lot of money and then only so many Bitcoins, what happens? It's a scarce and in-demand resource, so each Bitcoin goes up. These are just some basic principles / advanced to explain how to invest your money profitably. And this is how you do it, literally. And by the way, my favorite way to invest money, if you're wondering, is for sure into paid ads to a front-end funnel that's profitable. There's nothing better. Okay, now there is scenarios when you do cold traffic and it's so flippin' profitable that you don't even care to do anything in the back end, but you can with email marketing because you collect emails there. But you don't care to do any content in the back end and stuff. Now, I'm not going to just say this like too much hype here because that persuades people to just want to do that. Because I'm telling you right now, the truth is you need to do front-end funnels, to content, to high ticket, and all these offers. It's very hard, I'm telling you, to do a front-end funnel that's profitable with cold traffic. It's, in fact, one of the hardest marketing skills to do in the world. I've been able to build funnels like this, okay, but it took me years. And the only way to do it is just to add a bunch of persuasion and a bunch of time to build it up. There are people that make, like $1 million a day with front-end funnels with cold traffic. But they plan like a whole year to do this. And I don't know who this person is, but by a powerful mentor of mine, I learned about who this person is without knowing their name. I still don't know their name, but he mentioned them in a story explaining that he builds for a year the cold traffic funnel. He basically for 2 years sits back as he runs traffic to the funnel for 2 years, and then it dies down and he does a new thing. But during that time, he acquired a bunch of customers in that niche, so he owns a valuable asset he can now sell. It's a brand, it's a list of customers, and if he has recurring, it's even more valuable. So you could sell it, or you can go ahead and launch new stuff to the email list of customers, okay? That's the whole point of business. What makes business valuable is, how much traffic it is getting makes it pretty valuable. If it has recurring, makes it super valuable. And if it has a lot of customers, makes it even more valuable. And if the brand loyalty is huge, that's even more valuable. And if it has a value ladder, it all of a sudden is more valuable. If it has a whole team of employees in place and some good structure and organization, it's even more valuable. So let's talk about the high VRIN score formula. What is VRIN? First off, it stands for something. It stands for value, rarity, inimitable, and non-substitutable. So what is that? It's basically something very rare and hard to copy. So Ty Lopez initially told me about this, but I came up with a bunch of my own ideas from this. So I've noticed, through observing viral ads and viral organic content, which there is a lot of it, you'll realize the pattern that every single time it's rare. Like, it can't be copied every single time. It's that important. Okay, so if you want to have a good ad and if you want to have a good organic content to go viral and stuff, you need to do something that is high friend score. And when you do something that you think is high friend score, what do? You need to basically score it to see. So from 1 to 10, you ask yourself, is this actually high friend score? If it's hard to copy for the average person, it is. Okay, so for example, I came across once, and this is just recently, old man, his YouTube channel. It was very funny. I saw this random video on my YouTube home feed, and it was weird because there was a thumbnail of this old guy feeding a bunch of raccoons. Like, when I say a bunch, I mean like there was like 30 raccoons all around him or more, and they were crawling on top of him, on his porch. They were everywhere in the thumbnail and stuff. And I click on the video, and sure enough, that's what happened. It was very high friend score. Like, no one, I'm sure, has ever seen that happen before to anyone. It's like very uncommon. And so he's the raccoon man, apparently. So like, he built a career out of being the raccoon man. I'm sure he made good living. Still does, I'm sure. You can look him up. It's pretty funny. More high friend score stuff. A very attractive girls can be high friend score because it's somewhat rare, and everyone has their own taste. Another high friend score thing is someone like around 20, making 300 grand a month. That's how much I'm at right now, and it's scaling pretty soon. I'm doing something. When you have a lot of money, you can all of a sudden make big bursts in income, and I have plans right now with Facebook ads to make like 100K a day. Yeah, I know. In the next few days, I'll see if that's a thing, but 50K a day is good, 20K a day is good from the income stream. I mean, whatever. But yeah, that will equate to like $1 million plus a month at 20. So that's pretty high friend score, I'd say. So it's something rare for the situation a person's in, or something rare for a person, or a person's age, or a person's gender. Another high friend score thing is someone eating food super quick. Okay. The other high friend score thing is what Mr. Beast does. He'll spend like 100K budget on a video or something, sometimes $1 million on a freaking video, one video for YouTube. Another high friend score thing is, making a good movie, an actual great movie. Like Marvel, the Marvel movies, those went viral. The Jack Sparrow shows, the Lord of the Rings, those are high friend score. What else is high friend score? Depending on your niche. That's what you got to think about. What is something extreme or something unexpected or something rare that you could do in your niche? And if you look at your niche and you look at what went the most viral or got the most views in your niche, okay, you're going to see why they did. It's rare. It's hard to copy. So do something very hard to copy, you'll always get views, like a lot. And that's what it's all about. Attention economy, man. You get attention, you make money. In whatever niche it is, it really doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, there's better niches than others. I would say the wealth niche is one of the most lucrative. Another niche, not fully relevant to making content and stuff, is just, invent a great, product or service. Like Elon Musk invented great things. He's a billionaire, I got my own ideas, but probably not as big as that. Or do I? You always got to think bigger. I hope to be a billionaire someday. I really do. So what's another example? At the end of the day, you need to rate all your content in a friend score scale. And if it's high, above 8 or 7, you should keep it. But in general, you should have a lot of volume of content out there. Don't really delete it. I mean, I don't delete mine. Of all my content, I got a lot of content on my different, income streams of my second channel, and it's an entertainment channel. I don't know if I have said that before. And then I've got my personal brand. Those are only 2 channels. Then I got a couple others that have like no content on them, but they were built just in case if I'm ready to go into those niches that I made them for. One of them's like ASMR and stuff. I was testing. But at the end of the day, paid traffic will make you a lot of money. Doing an ad that is successful, an ad just simply needs to promote an offer that's a super low risk offer. If it's something that buying, it needs to be less than $10, then have upsells. And if it's something you're collecting leads for, it needs to be something for free in exchange for their email. But you really want to collect money and have a buyer's list. I really don't care about free stuff, people, unless they're sweepstake list. So anyway, my point is, with paid traffic and doing ads, do something very unexpected, do something very rare, and you'll get shared too. Like, you'll get shared, and that's more free traffic. or do something very funny. Something very extremely funny can be high friend score, because it's not like every single joke makes someone laugh. I mean, comedians often, before their big stage, they'll do jokes that fail, at the lower, small stages or whatever. So just understand that. There's a lot of angles to go with this, but just understand that friend score is something that I think about a ton. I literally dedicate a lot of time to think about something high friend score to make or do. And whenever I think of story to tell, or a copywriting to write, or an ad to create, or content to make, I think of how's it going to be high friend score. Yo, welcome to this video. So basically, YouTube 100%. If you want to make money online, if you go the route of making YouTube channel or several cash cow channels, like you can have people make content for you and you pay them to do it, and then you just give them video ideas, they make the video ideas, and they go through an assembly line process. That's very powerful. But in general, YouTube's the best way. And why is that? Because they're the second biggest site, if not the first. Because Google is the biggest just because it's the search engine to find the sites. But the second biggest site is YouTube. So people are really going on Google to go to YouTube and, a bunch of other places. But YouTube is crazy. Okay, if you go to Similar Web, okay, and you literally see how many people are on YouTube each month. I'm looking at it right now. There is 35 billion people, okay, on YouTube every single month. And if you divide that by 30 days, that's over 1 billion people a day on YouTube. The human brain cannot comprehend how many people that is. Like, that's a lot of freaking people. Okay, and that's people coming back, obviously, because there's only like 9 billion people, 7 to 9 billion people in the world as of now, as I'm talking right now. But straight up, only so many people have internet access. So a lot of people keep coming back to YouTube. That means the platform's amazing, okay? So anyway, my point is also, if you can literally make money just from having content on that platform. By the way, Facebook also, you can get paid to have content and have ads. They're the same as YouTube, and they pay too. It's kind of a little secret, okay? So you can upload to Facebook too on a fan page and get paid, you can call it AdSense revenue if you want. But yeah, you get money for that too. So what I'm saying is, when you upload to these platforms, you make a lot of money, and it's the most passive income I've ever seen, because you make content and then you just make money from ads being all the content. The other most passive income in the world is just having a product that requires no fulfillment that you promote. That could be an affiliate offer, that could be a digital product, or that could be like even selling a service and someone else fulfills that service, where you don't need to fulfill the service, but you have someone else do it. That is another passive income. So also passive income, stocks and investing in assets and stuff like that. That is a passive income. But what I'm trying to say is YouTube. You need to make sure you have a YouTube channel after doing this. You need to pick a niche, whatever it may be. Okay? I highly recommend do YouTube. I make a lot of freaking money from YouTube, and you guys will too. Okay? Because there's no competition. Okay? Like, there is so much volume because it's the number one site in the world. Okay? Content never dies. It's always going to be there. A video is always going to get views to it. It's very powerful to understand that. Okay? So, anyway, there's nothing else I can really say about YouTube other than how you can blow up on YouTube if you want. But in the end of the day, just upload tons of content. I've surveyed, audiences and stuff here, and I've asked them, how much content would you like per day? I gave them the option of 1 per day, 2 per day, 3 per day, 5 per day, 6+ per day. And I said unlimited amount. And they, mostly everyone said unlimited. They don't care how much. You can literally upload unlimited amounts and people will love it. So be consistent, upload like crazy. Okay. The time you upload does not matter. Okay. The good content will get pushed out there. Okay. You can also run ads to boost your content. But the whole thing about YouTube, which is so powerful, is you can upload very long content and people will watch it, which means you build better relationships with people so you can sell offers to them and they buy. It's hot traffic. Hot traffic is people with a relationship with you. Okay. They're people that you follow that you built a relationship with online. If you're in this program right now, mentorship, it means you built a relationship with me, for example. And how did I do that? I just have a lot of content out there. There's a lot of people doing this. It's kind of no secret, but it really is a secret because no one understands it. People are just making content and they're building hot audiences, but they don't know why their audience, knows, likes, and trusts them. Okay? Everyone is known, like, and trust in a way. They just have to become that. So YouTube's how you become that. But anyway, to blow up on YouTube, you gotta have good data, which basically means good metrics and good data. That's what YouTube pushes. So imagine if you had a video with 100% click-through rate and it was like a 10-minute video. So that means it's a good length, and then it had 100% watch time. Okay, so that's a 10-minute average view duration. Okay, that's 100% average retention rate and 100% click-through rate. But good metrics in general is half of that amount. Okay, and you can get pushed. But in general, once again, you want to really have like really high numbers for all of those, really high click-through rate, everything. Okay, so you optimize for a niche that's a big, broad niche that's important too. But YouTube audiences are only so big. Some audiences, okay, if not all audiences, are only so big. So a video will only get pushed so far until it starts to, go to audiences outside of that audience. Does that make sense? So basically, you're going to eventually cap out, and that's perfect. You now have a huge sustainable business. You can launch businesses on the side to your hot audience, and you can sell those businesses for more money. Okay, that's another thing you can do that's very powerful. So I know a lot of examples that do that. YouTube, 100%, get a YouTube channel or several going. It's the best passive income in the world. Plus, it's actually one of the best incomes in the world for input, for a lot of output. It's the best I've ever seen. So let's keep going. Yo, welcome to this video. So this is how you promote top affiliate offers. Okay. Now there's actually several ways. Go-to ways I go to when there's a new offer on ClickBank or Digistore or any of those, or any CPA network in general. Okay. And this is affiliate offer requires no fulfillment. All I need to do in that scenario is just, even if you have like a channel you just started, have no audience built or anything, there's literally channels that do this. You'll know what I mean in a minute. They will just make review videos. Okay. They'll show their face or not show their face and just like record the screen. They could even buy the product and then explain like their experience with the product, and literally have down below in the description link to the offer. And because there's so much traffic for this top offer and people naturally look up reviews of products, you're going to get traffic, okay, on YouTube, and you're going to rank and you're going to get sales. So I recommend to make it worth your time and get guaranteed sales. Just make like 10 review videos. You could even use robot voices, like text to speech freaking generators, and just type out a script and use different robot voices, like 10 or 20 or more. I call it the juggernaut, passive income juggernaut method, basically. And you could do that. Very powerful. Okay, I do that like with one of my channels like crazy. Okay, because it requires no work, bro. You just make a script, reviewing a product, and you make so much content for that hot offer. So much people see it, and all they need to do is just click on the video and then just click the description to the website and your affiliate link. They're going to go watch the VSL over on the offer, and that's all that matters. That's what sells them. Okay. Sometimes a good pre-sale type video recommending the product's great. Obviously, that can be better, but in general, just getting to click and then people watching a little bit about a review, and then people freaking going to go click and check out the product and watching that video. That's obviously way better. So anyway, you can do that. That's how you can promote a top offer. Another way to promote a top offer, a lot of people do, is they'll use native ads and Facebook ads and YouTube. Heck, they may even make a whole entire Instagram page or YouTube page just about that offer. Okay, because it converts like wildfire. It's going to be around forever, obviously. Plus, you could switch, after you build an audience, you can just switch out that top offer when it dies down, if it dies down, for a new offer that launches, because there's always a new offer. There's always a new offer. And the whole point of making money online is build an audience, whether it be on an email list or YouTube or Instagram, anything. That's how you really make money online. That's the whole thing. Okay, when you own traffic, you will always have money. Okay, it doesn't matter what niche it is, really. Okay, because there's even crappy niches you can still make money with. But, there's quality of an audience and there's not quality of an audience. But in general, if you have an audience, you're going to make money. Now you just need to grow it and get a lot of volume of an audience, and you're going to have a lot of money. That's just how it works. Even there's audiences where you can have 1,000 subscribers and still make a good, significant income. Literally. Okay. That's usually the health, wealth, and love niches. Okay. And yeah, that's literally it right there. So that's how you promote top offers on these affiliate networks. There's literally no better way. Okay, so there you go. You're going to get guaranteed money doing that just right there. Okay, and you're going to be getting commissions over time, like all the time, because people still look up reviews years later. Okay, for these top offers. So there you go. Put out tons of content promoting these top offers. You're going to crush it. Or you can do paid ads promoting them because they convert. It's really powerful. Just do the right funnel and you're going to crush it. This is going to be very interesting because a lot of times you've probably seen it's kind of a beginner thing to say to people, go do freelancing, go do services. I'm not going to say that. But what I am going to say is that one of the easiest ways to get sales online is to sell service, because it requires more understanding of psychology, which you will learn in here, to sell a product or something like that. But a service makes sense because it's like you're trading time to help someone, trading time for money. Okay, so it makes more sense for someone to pay someone to make a logo because they know they're going to make a logo and save them time. So it's kind of something everyone understands. So what I'm saying is, if you want to make money and you're doing YouTube or something and you're building a brand, you can easily sell services to people. Okay, and you're gonna know what that service is by just looking at like competitors, for example, and what services they sell in your niche, or just coming up with your own service ideas just from the top of your head. And you should probably compare prices of what people charge for that service, but you can really charge at the end of the day whatever you want in general for anything. Okay, that's very powerful to understand that. But selling service is one of the easiest ways to get sales. Okay, but in general, percentage will always buy anything, especially when you have like volume of traffic, especially when you have hot traffic, a good number of hot traffic. Okay, and how do you get that once again? And this is probably the whole core of this whole entire program here. How to get hot traffic is to basically have people consume a lot of your content. So there's a trick to this, and I think I've mentioned it so far in this program, but you can basically have a playlist on YouTube, okay, that you send people to that can get an average view duration with people of 7 hours. So you really should upload so much content to YouTube that you're guaranteed over time, at least constantly, to get an average of 7 hours of someone spending with you. Okay, so that can happen over time for sure. Especially, if you are doing a platform like TikTok where people only spend like 15 seconds with you, it's very rare that you can come back too. First off, but TikTok's kind of a platform where you can repurpose your content from YouTube. You can actually upload clips to TikTok, or you can make specific TikTok videos that can possibly go viral. And then you want to just push that traffic to YouTube so you can build better relationships with people, okay? This is powerful. Did you know the actual most powerful brands in the world, okay, are backed by a personal brand, and then actual personal brands are the biggest in the world, most powerful brands in the world. So you have to understand, I know I'm going on a rant here, it has nothing to do with services, but when you have a hot traffic and an audience or someone else's, and you sell a service, it's the easiest thing to sell is a service. You just gotta understand psychology. This advice can make you 1,000x your investment. And the reason why is because if you scroll down and you see the topics of these videos and the trainings of what I'm going to talk about, each one of these can make you 1,000x your investment. By the way, your investment was either, whatever you saw the investment as, I don't know. But for mentorship, pretty high price compared to my other stuff, especially if I do more one-on-one stuff in the future. That can be upwards of 6 figures people have to pay to get mentorship with me. That's just because of demand. And that's how business works. When there's more demand for a product or a service, the price will go up. Now I'm going to explain to you what can make you 1,000x your investment. And I'm going to give you just a whole bunch of knowledge here real quick that took me years to learn that is just crazy. Like, I cannot explain how crazy some of this stuff is. So this is like how you make really big money online. So you ready? Are you ready? Let's go. Okay, so the truth behind if you really want to make big money online, do not sell something low ticket. Sell something very high ticket. And you know what? It requires just the same amount of effort to sell something high ticket. Now, you can have front-end products or low ticket, but that just brings customers in the door to then sell them to the high ticket. And there is the biggest thing ever. And I want to mention real quick too. This was the biggest change in everything I ever did that made me a lot of money, is actually making content. Making money online has to do with either having content or owning a business that is a service. Like if you ever seen like softwares as services, or like these massive sites, which I don't think any of us could ever build, like YouTube and Facebook and those big sites. Like, it's crazy. You could pivot your local business to be online. But what I'm trying to say real quick is, the biggest thing that made me money was constantly focusing on content 24/7. Okay, like on my other channel, I got quite a few channels, but I've only got 2 channels that really make money. There's my personal brand, and then there's my entertainment channel. My entertainment channel brings in around over $100,000 every single month, okay? And I say that because right now it's at that, but maybe in the future when you're watching this, it could be at $300,000 a month, just that alone. Just like I'm going to keep scaling it up, okay? Just more content, more money. That's just how it works. And I do have like 1 employee behind it, literally maintaining the affiliate links, just like doing like the uploads and everything like that. And I'll make the content, but I also have like an Upwork person too that basically, here's how it works. I basically make a bunch of MP3 files with robot voices. This is very powerful. I make MP3s of robot voices, and you can look into the Juggernaut method in the future, what it is. But basically, you use these different tools that use like human generated voices, but they're like bots, and you use a good script. And these bots, you could do different versions of each voice, and with one script, you can crank out like tons of videos. And, I have this video editor person just edit really engaging videos for these audio files, and these videos get views, and, they can blow up. It's all about the script being good. That's the key. And then just have like good B-roll footage or stock photos. Sometimes I have them do some text explaining what's being said and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's all about volume and just getting tons of content out there based off trends, based off all this stuff, and based off big keywords in the niche. But that's another rant right there. But when you want to sell something online, this is the biggest thing by far. So in the past, it used to just be the bias of influenced by mere association or influenced by mere exposure tendency, which is basically like people just, their eyes see your product, and people are more likely just to buy because they see your product, because there was less products back then, less options back then. But nowadays, it's more of a trust and likability and knowing the brand or person type thing. So you are a salesman or saleswoman, okay? And you need to build relationships with those you sell. So this has to do with selling. This has nothing to do with YouTube at the moment. But all I can say is in today's world now, you need to build a personal brand or build a company with a personal brand behind it. Because people want to learn from a person or want to get value from a person, or more importantly, want to know the story of the person behind the company. Does that make sense? It's very powerful. You will not make hardly any money if you don't know this. So this is why this mentorship is so powerful. So basically what I'm saying is, let's say you go out there right after this and you pick the niche you want to do. You don't have to be some expert at it, okay? You can even have an affiliate offer, but I recommend have your own offers eventually for sure. Definitely high ticket, like I was mentioning. But what you gotta understand is, on average, it takes 7 hours for a woman to be comfortable enough to want to sleep with you, okay? If you're a man, or if you're a woman or man, whatever. But it takes on average 7 hours for a customer to want to buy from you. Does that make sense? So they need to go on micro dates and long dates with you online. And what that is giving value over content. This is one of the biggest epiphanies I ever had. And I'm telling you inside this course, and it's the only place I will really ever expound on this, because it's the truth of how you make serious, and I mean serious money online. It's the only way to turn cold traffic into hot traffic. It's the only way to turn cold traffic into warm then hot. Like, it's crazy. So how it works is you have so much content built up on multiple platforms for a certain niche, and you're promoting certain offers and stuff. And what happens is, it's just like these people become friends with you online, and you're the salesman, but you're more of a friend recommending a product at this point. Does that make sense? So when you're giving value, okay, you're not just pitching. What I recommend really is don't even promote any offers and even call to action any offers. Just give value like crazy. This is how you make money. If you literally leave this video and don't understand what I'm saying right now, and you don't do this, you will not make much money at all. But you will make tons of money. It's crazy how the universe works, but it's reciprocity bias. You basically pick a niche that you want to do, and you just make tons of content. And trust me, if you show your face, the benefits outweigh everything. Okay? If you are willing to show your face and put yourself out there, okay, and let's be harsh here. If you're ugly and think you're ugly or something, it doesn't matter. There's like 1 million people out there. For everyone in the world, there's always 1 million people who want to learn from you. I'm serious. And, once again, best platforms. I'll say this real quick. Best platforms. YouTube for long form content, even short form content. Instagram is kind of like a replacement for an email list, but you do want to have an email list. And by default, you're going to have that from purchases that you get. And you want a buyer's email list. I really don't care about people who want free stuff email list. But if you're in the sweepstake niche, that could be good because they just want more free stuff. So you promote more free stuff. But in business in general, you want a buyer's email list. It doesn't matter to have leads in general. Your leads can just be followers, okay? But the email list that matters is buyers. But anyway, the other platform that's really good is Facebook. Facebook isn't super popular or talked about nowadays. So just so you know, the biggest social media site, kind of social media site, but it's the biggest by far content-wise, is YouTube. So definitely do YouTube. And, there is no limit to how long your content can be, okay? I know people who have tested this. I've tested this myself. The longer the content, it's just a longer date. It's just a longer reciprocity building type adventure with the person viewing. They're going to either want to buy from you right then, or they're going to want more great content from you and build a bigger and better and stronger relationship, okay, with your brand. This is crazy. And, you don't just need to have one product or a few products. You can launch new products whenever. You can promote new products whenever, okay? And this can work for affiliate marketing and your own products, I recommend have your own products. But if you just want to do affiliate marketing, you can make tons of money. And you're going to realize the people that make really big money online are the people who have content. Now, after you have a significant amount of content, and by the way, a significant amount of content should be limitless. Like you should have hundreds of pieces of content out there, and they should be all different. Okay, I mean it. Just giving value in your niche that you pick. And the best niches is health, wealth, and love. And by far, the wealth niche is one of the best niches for this angle we're talking about here. And then when you're ready, run paid traffic and grow your audience and accelerate it, because you're doing everything right at that point. Okay, I'm telling you, content creation plus then growing the audience will make you rich forever. Okay, having an audience online is the secret, true secret to making money online. There's no other big secret. There really isn't. The only other secret is, someone gives you money, like a lottery of millions. Okay, that is the only other secret. And it's not really a secret. Okay, the truth here is you build up so much content that people build big relationships with your brand. Then you just keep bringing people in. And once you reach a certain sizable amount, everything just snowballs really big. It becomes a big snowball going downhill, but really going uphill. And the snowball just becomes a big thing of money if you think of it that way. Like I'm telling you, I'm excited to talk about this stuff because it's the stuff I wouldn't just share for free anywhere, because it's like I don't believe in scarcity. I believe in abundance 100%. But I figure if I want to make this the most valuable thing I sell, I should only tell this stuff here. So you're getting it right now, right here. But I'm going to share all the other stuff down below here. But in general, have content, build relationships. Your brand's going to get even stronger and bigger and better if you're in one of the bigger niches. But you can be in a really sub niche and still crush it. Like seriously, it's ridiculous. You just build relationships by putting out so much content, and make your number one income producing activity every day. Sending traffic. It could be worldwide traffic. It could be tier 1 traffic. Doesn't matter. You just want to bring people into your ecosystem. It's crazy because I remember this one kid told me about how he was promoting his because he was a really successful dropshipper, so he decided he would be an expert teaching dropshipping. Okay, so I'm a really successful super affiliate, and so I started teaching how to be successful super affiliate, and I promote a bunch of offers and stuff, and I realized there's actually almost more money when you scale it really big in educating people stuff. So I recommend to you, start educating people, whatever you're an expert at. And by the way, like I'm a super expert in the online space and sales and marketing and all that and making money, but you don't actually need to be like a super expert in whatever niche you pick. You need to be at least one step or quite a few steps, if you please be quite a few steps ahead of a person when you're teaching them, okay? Because anyone could be an expert. You just literally can learn from experts. All of a sudden, you could become an expert, but you need to make sure that your brain is able to retain information and remember. But anyway, you need to be passionate about it too. But there was this kid, and he, expert dropshipper, for example, he had like a $197 course or $297 course. What he did was he put together a playlist on YouTube. He sent Facebook ads to the playlist on YouTube of a bunch of videos giving value. And what happened, guys? Because of reciprocity, he only linked to his program in the last training and somewhere in the middle a couple times. Does that make sense? So he only linked away to sell something when people actually built a relationship. Because guess what? That was cold traffic marketing. Everyone's trying to make money with cold traffic marketing. They don't even know what cold traffic marketing is. It's people who never heard of you before, don't trust you, don't know you yet. The only way to really, really make people buy from cold traffic to becoming a buyer, which, by the way, once again, most coveted traffic source in the world is cold traffic. The true way to just crush it with cold traffic is either have a very long VSL, okay, selling something at a very good, decent price. If you're doing something very low ticket, you actually, in that case, would want to have a pretty short VSL. Like I'm talking anything around $10 and below or $50 and below. Do a pretty short VSL. But anything above that, do a very long VSL. The longer, the better. You're going to make more money. And you know what? You can do different clips and piece it all together, edit it all together to make a great big VSL. It could be 2 hours long. You're going to get so many sales in cold traffic. It's crazy. What this kid did, I don't know if it was a total of maybe 3 hours or so, but remember, on average, it takes 7 hours for someone to want to buy from you on average. It could take someone like 2 minutes to want to buy, okay? Just there's different buying temperatures, different personality types and stuff. This is powerful stuff, guys. Like I don't talk about this anywhere. You're gonna make so much flipping money from this. You one day you're gonna hug my neck, like literally. So, it's crazy. All I can say now is like pick a niche, go out there, make so much content on all these platforms. It's so important. By the way, video is not going away, so do video. Don't do written form content. It's gonna suck. And then just innovate from there and get better over time. You're not gonna be perfect in your first video, and I never was, especially on camera when I first started. Behind a screen, you could go the angle, and I don't want to say this. You could go the angle without showing your face, but trust me, the benefits of showing your face increase conversion rates, increases likability, trust, everything. Like, it's so important. When you get more people on board to build your brand, very powerful. Like, I cannot stress that enough. Because then you have more diversity, and people follow for different people that are involved in your movement. Okay? Like, I'm explaining some powerful stuff real quick. But after you have tons of content, start running ads. This is the best part. Start running ads to all the best content you have. And you'll know what your best content is based off the basically engagement, the likes, the comments, but also the subscriber to view ratio. So if a lot of people subscribe from how many views or whatever, you'll be able to see that statistic inside your analytics, especially on YouTube. You're going to see what your best content is, and you can boost that to new people and bring them into a playlist. People just binge watch and build a relationship with you. Subscribe for sure. They subscribe, and then like straight up, it's ridiculous because then they get indoctrinated to your brand and they buy from you again and again and again. If you keep giving value, it's all about giving value. I'm telling you, to make money online, this is the secret. This is so powerful. I'm so happy I can share this with you guys. Peace. Let's keep going through.